Alex's Mobs is an insanely cool and detailed mod that adds about 90 new mobs to Minecraft, including passive wildlife, tameable companions, deep-sea creatures, and even a giant interdimensional space worm. Every single mob in this mod serves a purpose, which is why this guide ended up being over 2 hours long, because in the showcase I go over every single mob, item, and crafting recipe. So if you find this helpful, please consider leaving a like and a comment, and if you're crazy, maybe even subscribe. Alright, enjoy the showcase. Alright, the first set of mobs are going to be in the plains and forest biomes, and we're going to start with the Grizzly Bear here. Now, the Grizzly Bear will attack you if you get close. If we can give it some honeyway, I'll go in survival mode, you'll see. Okay, we can give him some honey, right? And then we can give him some salmon. Come on, buddy. I know you want it. Come on. No! I need more salmon. If you give them, I guess, a couple salmon. Oh, hey, you can have some too, I guess. Okay, you know what? It takes a few salmon. Yes! We have tamed the Grizzly Bear. Ready? And once you tame the Grizzly Bear, you can get up on top. Not only can you ride him, but if, let's say, we summon a bad guy here, the Grizzly Bear will fight on our behalf, which is awesome. Shout out the Grizzly Bear, man. Little honey, little salmon, and you got yourself a tank. And you can breed the grizzly bears by using salmon. Now, if you kill a grizzly bear... Well, not that time. There we go. You get Hair of Bear, which has a few crafting uses. One is the Frontiersman's Cap, which is made with a leather cap, hair of bear, and raccoon tail, which we'll get to in the next mob. But once you do that, you get the Frontiersman Cap, which gives you 3 armor, which is way better than a leather cap, and plus 2.5 armor toughness, but it also gives you 0.1 speed while sneaking, and it looks pretty cool. And we do have a little extra speed while sneaking, But the next thing you can craft is the Falconry Glove with leather and 1 hair of bear. Just remember this crafting recipe because this item is useful later in the video. And the last thing you can make with hair of bear is the bear banner pattern. Just using paper and hair of bear, you get this cool red bear. Well, it can be any color. You get this cool banner pattern, which kind of looks like the California flag, honestly. All right, next we have the raccoon. This guy also spawns in plains and forests, loves food. Hey, buddy, you want food? There you go. Yeah, these guys will beg for food and will take it. If you leave a chest out with food in it, there's a chance these little guys will steal food. Let's see, are you going to steal food? Dude, they stole my potatoes. They're gone. And after stealing, they're still begging for these potatoes. Now, these guys will take any food and it won't do you any help. Dude, he's looking for more. If you can give a raccoon a chicken egg and it's close enough to water, this is how you tame them. They take the egg to the water and wash it. Apparently, this is a real thing raccoons do. And after he's finished cleaning, oh my god, it wasn't enough. Here, take another egg, buddy. God, the mobs are greedy today, but you give him an egg, and there we go. And now that oh, he's taken another egg. So now I can put him in follow mode, and look at that. He follows me around. Also, at nighttime, all raccoons' eyes glow like Herobrine, which is kind of scary. You can see him through the tree line sometimes. You can also have him stay, and he'll lay down. He will also fight for you. He's helping me fight the zombie. Boom. Come on, raccoon. Help me. Yeah. Yeah, oh. Yeah, you can keep the rotten flesh, little guy. And if you're evil and decide to kill a raccoon, it has a rare drop of dropping its tail. I just killed a bunch and only got 1. But the only use for the raccoon tail is to make the Frontiers hat. There is no other crafting for it. All right, our next mob here is the crow. As you can see over here, he's kind of trampling my crops. He's actually just walking away. Crows will go after your crops. Let's see, I'm gonna spawn in a bunch of crows to show. But these little guys will steal any food on the ground, or as you can see here, just ripping seeds out of the soil. And now this crow is actually taking the seeds and eating them. So to keep crows away, it's actually quite easy. A tale as old as time. You just put a little carved pumpkin, and that will keep the crows away from your crops. But let's just say you wanted to tame one of these little creepy dudes. You can throw pumpkin seeds on the ground. And for some reason, specifically pumpkin seeds will help you tame a crow. There we go. Best friends forever. Hey, buddy. But now I got a little crow buddy. Where are you going to go? Boom! He's on my shoulder. Look at that. So there's a lot of taming of mobs, but I gotta love the crow because oh, I got 2 crows. Crows are one of my favorite animals. They're very smart. And in this instance, I got 2 crows on my shoulder. Now, if I put the crow in gathering items mode, he'll hang out by a hay block. And basically, any item you throw on the ground, if it can find a container with a similar item and an item frame on it, as you can see, the crows are putting bones in the chest. But basically, if the crow is in gather items mode and there's a chest with a matching item frame, it will place that item in the chest. It also will hang out around the hay bale, and that's how it will heal. So the crows are actually a very useful, tameable mob and can even do some item sorting for you. Now, crows will actually fight for you as well and do extra damage against the undead. They do so little damage, I don't even think the mobs will ever aggro on the crow, but crows do extra damage to undead mobs. He'll come down for another strike, surely. There we go. Come on, buddy, land on my shoulder. Yup, that was the crow. All right, next forest mob we have here is the Bluejay. The Bluejay is kind of like the crow, except it can't exactly be tamed. It also won't destroy crops, but apparently it will eat raw pork off the ground like it just did there. But if you can approach a Bluejay with glow berries, he gets very excited, and you can give it to him and his eyes start glowing. And basically, while he has this effect, he will follow you around for a bit. But he has this secret little feature where if you click on a raccoon with glow berries as well, they should become bonded friends. Yes! So I think this is a regular show reference, but you can bond a raccoon and a Bluejay by giving them both glow berries. So now, this raccoon is actually my pet raccoon, but now he has a Bluejay buddy that he goes around with. Yeah, dude. If you feed this Bluejay a seed, any seed, he will sing a song that will alert you to where nearby mobs are. So you could roll with a raccoon as your pet, who also will still love to get some treats, with a little Bluejay hanging out. And look how far, like that's a zombie deep underground, and just by giving him a seed, I was alerted to him because of the Bluejay. And that's about it for this guy, but I do think he is really cool, and I do love how you can have a raccoon and a Bluejay. So for the record, you can't tame the Bluejay. You can kind of indirectly tame him if you tame a raccoon, and he becomes bonded to that raccoon. And now these guys are buddies. Also, the only way to breed Bluejays is by using maggots, but I haven't shown you how to get maggots yet. All right, next one here we have is the skunk. Now, the skunk is a very skittish creature. It will run away from you or other predators nearby. But eventually, if you chase it enough, maybe give it a smack, it'll eventually do what skunks do, which is stink all over you. Oh. Now, this just gives you nausea and also will make other mobs become aggro at you because you smell so bad. But if you have a glass bottle and you find some of this stink residue, you can get stink in a bottle. So you can harness the stink from the skunk. No reason to kill them. They don't drop anything. So with 2 bottles of stink, 3 iron ingots, and a hopper, you can get yourselves the stink ray. This is a fart gun. All right, see this villager? I gotta back up a little. Come on. I stunk him up. So now that I've stunk this villager up, there's something about the smell that's so bad that all of the nearby animals just get the urge to murder this villager or whoever you hit with the stink ray. And there's a few different fart sounds it makes. And you can get, I think 2, 3, 4. So you can get 4 uses of the stink ray per bottle of stink. So if you do manage to like keep a skunk somewhere where you can just get its stink, you can just have a stink ray, which could be pretty useful running away from a mob. It's pretty cheap. It's just fart in a can. So if you splash a skunk with a poison effect, I do believe, let's see if I can corner him. If I can get the skunk in a corner. But basically, if you can hit a skunk with a potion and get him to stink, it will stink with that potion. So you can get him to shoot out a poison effect. Splash him with some strength too. Come on, do something. Okay, he's stinking all over me, so I'm still getting nausea. He gave me nausea for 13 seconds, but he also gave me strength 2 for 1:20. So if you can put up with the nausea, a skunk can really help you out. You can also tame 2 skunks using sweet berries to get a baby skunk. All right, next forest mob we have here is the sugar glider. Look at this cute little guy. Now, if you can get up to a sugar glider with some sweet berries in your hand, it does not take much to tame him. I don't know if you put him in staying mode, for some reason he goes on his back. I don't know, like for a belly rub or something. But these guys are super cute. You can have him wander or follow. If you have him follow around, well, he hops around and glides. Let's get up to the forest here, sugar glider. I believe I'm gonna hope I can get it to happen. These sugar gliders can occasionally forage through leaves and find you some stuff. Oh, is he gonna do it? Oh, no, he just jumped on down. Find me something cool. What does he do? Look at this goofball. I don't know what it takes to get him to forage. Yeah, so in the dictionary, it does say that these sugar gliders can usually find you stuff in leaves. It's usually junk, such as saplings and sticks, but sometimes can find valuable items like hair of bear, moose antlers, or more. But the real charm of this sugar glider is when you go up to him and you shift click, and he sits on your head. Oh, I shifted too long. He came off. So if you shift click to get him on your head, you get some slow falling. The sugar glider here, let's say we're up on this cliff, we can just glide on down with the sugar glider on our head. Going downhill is much easier. You can kind of just jump and fly your way down, no fall damage, and you got a cute little buddy hanging out on your head. Now, you can actually breed 2 sugar gliders by using honeycomb, but a tamed baby sugar glider cannot be used to glide. I don't know. Oh, there they go. They're breeding now. So the baby sugar glider, as cute as it is, cannot help you glide if it's tamed. You have to wait for it to be an adult. Next here, we have the bald eagle. This one spawns more in the mountainous forest areas. But this guy will fly around, occasionally diving into the water to find some prey. He loves fish, as well as will attack any rabbits. Usually the bald eagle will circle around before striking down with its talons, but it doesn't look like it's really finding anything right now. But if you want to get the bald eagle's attention, if you can get close to it with some fish oil, which fish oil I will show you guys how to make later. It involves some new fish in the game. Boom. And just like that, I have tamed the bald eagle. Freedom intensifies. So you can either have the bald eagle wander, or follow, or stay. So if the eagle follows you around, it will occasionally aid you in battle, but there's more that you can do than just that. If you remember from earlier, we had the falconry glove that we crafted. Well, now you can click on your eagle and hold him with your falconry glove. So let's just say I see this bad guy right here. I can look at him and punch with my glove to send my eagle at him. And he'll circle around, maybe make another hit or two. Actually, I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's making more than one hit. I don't know if I can command him back or not. No, he's just going to keep helping out. Boom, and he's dead, and my bald eagle returns to me. Already is super cool, but there's more to that than you can do. So there's something else you can craft here called the falconry hood. Now this requires a Roadrunner feather, which we will get to the Roadrunner later, but if you make the falconry hood and go up to your eagle, oh no, my bald eagle is in the dirt here. So if here, I can give my bald eagle a falconry hood, and now I can really control what this guy's up to. Oh, so with the falconry hood, I can basically control the bald eagle. Oh my goodness. This is super cool. So yeah, using the falconry hood for up to 150 blocks away from the player, I can actually control the bald eagle and hunt with him. Can even dive down. Let's see, I'm spawning some husks on me. I'll have him go down, strike, fly back. Yup. Oh! And attempting an attack on an invalid entity. I think I accidentally just attacked myself and it caused my game to crash. That's okay. We have our falcon back. Boom! You're dead. And now I'm coming back. Okay, so yeah, if you try to attack yourself with the eagle, it kicks you out of the game. I don't know why I couldn't just tell you that's not allowed, but there you go. That was the bald eagle. By the way, the bald eagle you can breed using rotten flesh if you'd like, and it has no drops. What did the buffalo say when its son went off to college? Bye, son. But the next mob on our list is the bison. Now, this one just roams around. You'll see these ones pretty frequently in plains and forest biomes, but you got to be careful. They're pretty chill on their own, but if you get too close, they will just slam you with their giant horns. Oh, actually, this one seems pretty nice. Maybe I'm wrong. But apparently, you can kind of set these guys off, kind of like goats. I don't know, this guy seems pretty chill. Now, they yield a lot of meat, but also, if you use shears on a bison, you can get bison fur, which eventually grows back just like sheep's wool. You can just get it, and eventually it will eat grass. I don't know why these bison don't attack me. I thought they would if I got too close. But bison fur can either be used like this to make an entire block of bison fur, which is just kind of a cool textured wool-like block. If I have 2 blocks of bison fur, I can turn those into bison fur carpets, which now these are just a really cool decoration block of bison fur. But now if I try to slay the bison, oh god, he's gonna charge me. Oh, my Bluejay's helping me out. from earlier. Oh my god! He tried to charge me again. He launched me into a tree. Yo, shout out my Bluejay, man. Anyways, that guy dropped 7 raw beef. So it's a great source of food. And bison can be bred with wheat. So if you create a bison farm, just keep your distance. And they can be quite a good source of beef and, well, bison fur. I also didn't realize if you put bison fur in a square like this, you can make brown wool using the fur. So that's also very useful. If you mix any boot with a block of bison fur, it also gets insulated from snow. Just like how leather boots will let you walk over powdered snow, if you have bison fur and you mix it with your armor, you can turn it into that. Like if we put all this powdered snow here, now that we have insulated iron boots, we can just walk right over. Compare that to regular iron boots, which you would sink right into the snow. Next, we have the moose, which spawns mostly in taiga and snowy taiga biomes. Now, these guys are not one to be messed with. They will protect their kids here. I think if we spawn in a wolf, let's just say, it's going to go after the baby moose, and it's not going to be good for the wolf. The moose uses its gigantic antlers to kill the wolf and will protect its kids. It's kind of rare, but every 7 to 10 days, 2 wild moose will clash, and there's a chance that one of them will drop their antlers. I don't know if one will lose its antlers here, but they'll do a little bit of fighting. I don't know how long they just clash antlers, but they've been doing this for about a minute now. Anyways, if you get lucky enough to witness 2 moose fighting, there is a chance that eventually one of them will drop a moose antler. You can't get this from killing them, they only drop it from bashing each other's heads together. So if you manage to get your hands on 2 sets of moose antlers here, you can combine it with an iron ingot and string to make an antler headdress. Now this unique piece of armor, first thing, gives you antlers, but it also gives you plus 2% attack knockback. So if I spawn in a bad guy here, as you can see, I do significantly more knockback when I attack. I don't know if it affects the durability. No, it doesn't. So yeah, you get the antler headdress, throw it on, you suddenly just do way more knockback to enemies when fighting them. It's like you basically have a built-in knockback to enchantment, which is pretty sick. Moose can be bred using dandelions. I don't know if it doesn't seem to work when they're actively fighting each other. Anyway, moose can somehow be bred with dandelion. These guys just keep fighting, but eventually I think they'll have a baby. Also, if you slay a moose... If you slay a moose, you can get your hands on moose ribs. This can be cooked into a delicious food, but also used... Okay, the seagull stole it, but it is a yummy source of food, as you can tell. Snow leopards can also be found in these snowy biomes. They cannot be tamed, nor are they aggressive towards human players, but they are really good hunters and can also be bred using moose ribs that we got earlier. Now, I believe these guys will hunt down sheep and cows and other sorts of things. Oh, you can see as it's leaping towards them. But one thing that these snow leopards do very well is proficiently kill their prey here, and it actually causes them to drop more. Now, in this instance, it looks like it only dropped 2 mutton, but it's basically like it has a looting enchantment on its claws. Now, I don't know the use of it. Maybe you could capture a snow leopard and create a little farm where you have the leopard kill all the mobs and you just have hoppers take the drops. But that's what snow leopards do. Not much more to them. You can't tame or weaponize them, but they do look cool. Next, we have the Flutter, which spawns within lush cave biomes. The Flutter is this little guy. I don't know what else to even call him. A little flower creature with 4 legs that, well, flutter away to kind of get away. It's a bit of a scaredy cat, but if we make our way over and hold out a flower, yeah. Oh, he has little eyeballs. You can tame him, but you have to give them different flowers. Oh my gosh. Wait, did it work? Oh, this one will help. Oh, okay, the first one never actually got tamed. Interesting. So now, when I'm fighting a mob, you can see the Flutter will go in the air and will shoot pollen at my foes. Oh, I see. I didn't even have enough flowers. All right, so if we have a few Flutters, let's just say. Now, I got 4 Flutters fighting on my side. And you can just have these little guys help you out in the caves. And there you go. That's the Flutter. So you can breed the Flutter with bone meal. Do we get a baby Flutter? Oh my god, we got a baby Flutter. But You can actually give your Flutter some armor in case you don't think they can sustain themselves in battle, because they do have pretty low HP. So if you give them a flower pot, they actually have armor, except then they then they hobble around instead. They still get a little bit of flight in them though. And I mean, a zombie doesn't even get to touch them. And the best part is when you put them in a pot, it's kind of like picking up an axolotl in a bucket. You can shift click and pick up your potted plants. Your potted flutters, I should say. Anyways, 10 out of 10, no notes with these guys. Next mob we're dealing with is the common fly. This guy you can find pretty much everywhere in the overworld. They are tiny and they buzz around, and I believe they are attracted to dead mobs. Yep. So flies will follow around the undead and just peck at them, and can eventually kill them, but all they really do is just bother the zombies and follow them around. So for some reason, if you do want to breed flies, you can hold out rotten flesh, and they will breed a baby. But the only useful thing flies are honestly for is this. You can kill them for maggots, which we've already encountered mobs that need maggots, but it's a common breeding ingredient for many different mobs out there. And that's pretty much all the fly has to offer. Next, we have the Potoo or the Potoo. It's kind of like this owl creature, and as you can see, during the daytime will just find a branch, some leaves, or a log to just perch on, and they will sit there all day. Midnight, their pupils get wide open, and whenever it's dark enough in their vicinity for mobs to spawn, they make a little hoot and holler, like you just saw there. Now, you can actually just grab one on your falconry glove. He continues to hoot and holler, though. So the falconry glove is just a good way to collect these guys, and you can breed them using maggots, and they have a little baby, but they don't really have much use, it seems like. Oh, they can drop feathers. That's about it. All right, this mob here is the maned wolf. It spawns exclusively in savanna biomes, and is not a wolf or a fox. It's just goofy looking guy. You can't tame them, but you can give them some apples. And if you do, they let off a stink. And apparently the stink, oh, I guess he follows me around too, can help lure animals. Let's see if we can, here, follow me, maned wolf. It's supposed to attract livestock, according to the wiki. Oh yeah, see, it's attracted all these gazelles. So it's a good way to, I guess, herd livestock. If you can keep one in an area, you can use it to kind of just like attract all of your... Oh, look at the sheep are coming and running over. The emus are running over. For some reason, the smell of the maned wolf, they all just love. You can breed the maned wolf with raw chicken, but there are no other maned wolves here for you. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, while we're here, the next mob is the gazelle. So these are herd creatures. I don't know where the rest are, but I'll spawn in a few more. And basically, if one gazelle is attacked, they all go speeding off like an Animal Planet documentary. But if you do manage to kill a gazelle, oh God. God, they're fast. If you do manage to, wow. There's a rare chance it will drop its horn, which I got lucky enough to get this time. And the gazelle horn can be used to brew a potion of swiftness 3. So basically you take the gazelle horn, mix it with potions of speed 2, and you can get yourself potion of speed 3, which if you didn't know, potion of speed 3 is quite fast. We are zooming. They also drop mutton. Boom. You can also breed gazelles with wheat, so you could farm these guys just like you would farm sheep or cows or whatever. All right, and also in the savannah, we got the emus. These guys are funky-looking creatures, but not ones to be messed with. As you can see here, if I punch an emu, they might panic a little bit, but they're going to come back for blood. If you do manage to kill an emu, it has a chance of dropping its emu feathers. These will be used for an important crafting ingredient once we cover the kangaroo. But these guys have another use. If you use wheat to breed 2 emus together, whoop, they'll have a baby. I thought you were actually going to lay an egg, but I forgot that's not how Minecraft logic works. Oh, wait, did it happen? Yes. Oh, wow, that was good timing. So apparently it's like chickens, where I totally forgot they just lay eggs randomly. You can get yourself an emu egg. This can be thrown just like a chicken's egg, but if you cook it in a furnace, you can get yourself a boiled emu egg, which I need right now. And you know what? It's a decent source of food. These guys have already laid more eggs, so might as well start an emu farm now and just have unlimited food. Emus hate skeletons too, for some reason. So much that they will chase down and kill skeletons, but not zombies, just skeletons. All right, next we have the kangaroo. These bad boys spawn in savannas. They're neutral, and they just hippity hop around and eat grass. You can breed 2 kangaroos if you give them grass, and they'll have a baby. And sometimes the baby will hop into the pouch like this one. Oh my goodness. That's crazy how quick that works. So yeah, we'll hold the baby Joey in its pouch just like a real kangaroo. But if you want to, oh, this one has a baby too. If you want to tame a kangaroo, you're gonna have to give them about 10 to 15 carrots. Boom. And now that the kangaroo is following, you have access to the kangaroo's pouch. Yes. So when the kangaroo follows you around as your pet, it has a storage pouch in which you can put things in it. Like, let's just say a netherite sword, which, yes, the kangaroo will use the sword. So let's say I'm getting attacked. Yeah. This kangaroo comes clutch with a sword. Probably one of the best companion mobs to have. Watch your back. So now he's got the baby in its belly and a sword in its hand. Now, I actually haven't tested this out, but I believe you can give a kangaroo, if you shift click, get into its pouch, and give it a chest plate and armor. Yes, it will wear a diamond chest plate and a helmet. It will wear whatever helmet and chest plate you give it, as well as wield the sword you give it. So let's just say I'm in survival. I need help. If you have some extra gear laying around, tame some kangaroos, man. Look at this guy. He just took out 3 zombies, no problem. Didn't even take any damage. The best part is if you're worried about healing them, you just shift click and drop some food in its pouch. And whenever it needs to heal, the kangaroo will eat the food you gave it in its pouch to heal up. So like a low maintenance, high damage dealing companion that will follow you around. I love the kangaroo. Now, if a kangaroo does manage to die, it will drop 2 things: kangaroo hide and kangaroo meat. Kangaroo meat can be smelted into cooked kangaroo meat, which is a good food source, but also if you mix that with 2 pieces of bread, you get a kangaroo burger. Delicioso. So if you take the kangaroo hide and the emu feathers we talked about earlier, you can make Outback leggings. This gives you 4 armor and 0.5 armor toughness. They look pretty cool, and a chance to avoid incoming projectile damage. I'm not sure what that means. I guess I took no damage. Oh, yeah. So a few of those arrows did 0 damage to me. That's very fascinating. So these are cool leggings, especially if you're about to deal with a bunch of, shulkers or maybe skeletons or whatever. You could just wear these Outback leggings to stay safe. Huh. I should mention they're only as strong as chainmail leggings, though, so they're not the strongest armor in the world. All right, next we have the slimy banana slug. These little guys will crawl up walls and blocks, and they spawn in old-growth forest biomes. And they just kind of ooze around. And eventually, if I'm lucky, I will catch one drop its banana slug slime. So I guess the drops are kind of like, they're like chicken eggs. There's an achievement for encountering a banana slug called Convergent Evolution. I'm just hoping if I put a bunch of them in here, we'll get at least one of them dropping some slime, because apparently they're supposed to just do it in random intervals. After a while, you should be able to collect enough banana slug slime to make yourself the banana slug slime block. Now, this thing is very interesting. Let's find a body of water over here. So if you're able to make a block of banana slug slime and you place it in some water, let's say right here. Yup, it's the description of it is it's a super absorbent block. So it immediately crystallizes all the way around. And if I can just go and pick up my banana slug slime block again, and these crystals that it creates, you actually can't break. You can break them, but they won't drop anything, but they will with Silk Touch. But after you break the main banana slug slime block, the crystals will start to slowly decay away. Meaning, if you were just trying to make a little underwater base with a single slime block, let's say I put another one here, I can go get my slime again, do that, and then do that. We're making good time. And then if I leave with my banana slug slime block, all of these crystals will slowly decay. So there's a lot less cleanup to do. Anyways, if you wanted to breed these slugs, you just give them brown mushrooms, and they will have a slug baby. So next we have the gorillas. So gorillas spawn in groups, and the silverback one is considered the leader of the group. They'll all follow them around. What I've noticed is these guys go around and they just start ripping leaves off the ground and eating them. Like, as you can see, this is just a bare stump. So yeah, you can see the males, the big silverback is leading the group, and they all will just follow him. He does a big chest pound when you get close to him. Oh, But these guys are considered passive for the most part. You can approach them. They're pretty chill. But if you want to get them on your side, pull out a banana. I guess I just have to throw them bananas. Hey guys, bananas for everyone. Bananas for all. Oh, so many gorilla friends. So I can have them sit, I can have them wander. If I get attacked by a bad guy... Oh. Okay, they're supposed to help fight, but instead they're eating the leaves. Guys, okay. Oh, there we go. Now they're fighting for me. The gorillas are less so tamed and more so they just kind of befriend you. You can tell them to sit and wait, though, and they will. Otherwise, they kind of will just wander around and help you out if you need help. Might be good to keep some gorillas at the house, you know, in case you're getting jumped. Now, I realized I didn't mention, you get bananas from jungle trees. They drop just like saplings or apples would from a tree, but specifically jungle trees will drop bananas. You can breed gorillas with bananas as well. And oh my god, the baby gorilla will ride on the back of whoever the mother is, which is super funny. Next, we have these Capuchin monkeys, Capuchin. They spawn in all different colors in the jungles, of course, and can be tamed, with no surprise, with bananas. Well, why are you running away, dude? I'm trying to... Okay, this guy needs a lot of bananas. There we go. Monkey business. But these guys are more sophisticated than your average pet. Hey, where are you going, buddy? So I have them set to following, staying, wandering. And if I shift click, I can get the monkey on my shoulder. What's most interesting about these guys is they can do some interesting attacks. So let's say I'm in survival. While he's on my shoulder, the monkey will throw stones at the enemy zombie or whatever I'm attacking. As well as if I take him off my shoulder, he will do some melee fighting for me too. Come help me out, monkey. Oh, he's still mostly throwing stones. Huh. There's a rare item you can find inside of jungle temples called the Ancient Dart. It's a pretty rare find in the chests, but if you do and give it to your pet monkey and shift him on your shoulder, he now has upgraded ranged attack. So now instead of rocks, he throws darts, which do more damage. Occasionally when you feed a monkey, when you feed one of these monkeys a banana, there's a chance that they will drop a banana peel. There we go. Wow, it is a pretty rare rate, but I just got a banana peel. So I got a few banana peels actually from these guys. And if you can take that banana peel, mix it with a bone, a brown mushroom, and a bowl, and you can get sopa de macaco. And get the achievement, Uma Delicia. I apologize for butchering the pronunciation. I always get crap in the comments for that, but I can't change who I am, Mr. Monkey. Am I right? Next, we have the tiger. The tiger spawn in bamboo jungles, and these guys will most definitely attack you if you get up close to them. We're friends, right? And we'll maul you with your claws. Except I went into creative mode, so I didn't die. Oh, and this guy is now sleeping on the ground after that. But let's just say you wanted to get on the tiger's good side, and you snuck up from far away and threw some raw chicken down. You know you want the raw chicken. He took it. Yes! So if you get the blessing of the tiger after feeding them raw chicken, the tigers will no longer attack you and will actually come to your aid in battle if needed. So let's say I'm in survival and I'm like, oh, I accidentally punched the tiger. So the blessing of the tiger only lasts 10 minutes, which I guess is pretty long. But as long as you have that blessing, these tigers will come to your aid. But now for the next 10 minutes, I got these guys who will protect me. And you can breed them using acacia blossoms, which you can get from acacia trees in the savannah. They drop just like saplings. And you can use those to breed. Wait, I was just about to say there's a really rare chance when you breed two tigers that it will have a white tiger baby, and somehow that just happened first try. It was meant to be. But oh my god, look at, we got the white tiger. That's a rare... I can't believe that just happened first try. But anyways, like you saw with that zombie we fought earlier that got startled. Let's see if I can recreate it. See, they got startled because when a tiger makes its intent known to that he wants... Oh, help me, tiger! It can freeze enemies in place. That's one of the tiger's special abilities, is it can put so much fear into its enemies they freeze for a few seconds. So right then it was able to make the baby zombie freeze, and kill them. Next, we have the Shoebill bird here. These guys have always terrified me in real life, but these guys are rather timid. You can't breed them, and they really just kind of hang out and fish. I guess their fishing can be used by the player to make them more helpful. I'm curious if these guys will do anything. They're shaking their bill around. Eventually, they fish. Oh, yep, there we go. You can see them. They're all going after the cod now that are in the water. Oh, there we go. So you can see this guy was just fishing. All he got was one cod, and he just ate it. But, oh, and this guy's fishing now as well. So if these guys go fishing, and they manage to get something that isn't a fish or something they can eat, it can be useful to the player. Yep. So now you can see he was fishing. He got a salmon, so he kept it. Anyways, there's a chance that they can pull out some useful junk just like normal fishing. They're not much more than that. They're pretty timid creatures. I think it's that you literally can't even breed them. The only other thing is there are two animals we haven't gone over yet that have eggs, which is the terrapin and the crocodile. If you feed these eggs, the crocodile will increase their lure effect when they fish, and the terrapin egg will increase their luck effect when fishing. So you'd probably want to increase their luck and then just hope that they can find some treasure for you. Next, we have the hummingbird here. I don't know why these guys are just flying like inside of each other. But the hummingbirds, just like real life hummingbirds, and they hang out in flower forest, plains forest, pretty much anywhere flowers grow. I don't know why these guys are like not moving. But yeah, hummingbirds will pollinate flowers. They kind of move around, kind of like bees. They like flowers. They move fast and just kind of zip. But if you want to make use of these hummingbirds, you can make yourself a hummingbird feeder using copper ingots, a glass bottle, and 2 sunflowers. And the hummingbird feeder can be used to attract hummingbirds and have them help with their pollination powers on your garden and whatnot. So if I put some water, and I thought I could put water and sugar in here, but maybe it's just water. Oh, there we go. So you could just see right there, it helps almost like bone meal the crops here. Anyways, you keep enough hummingbirds around. As you can see here, they were pollinating my crops. So yeah, you keep the hummingbird feeder around. Hummingbirds will stay nearby and occasionally help bone meal and speed up the pollination process of your crops just by using the hummingbird feeder. But you can breed hummingbirds using tulips and other flowers. There we go. We got baby hummingbirds. And now they're all just hanging around my garden. Next, we have the Anaconda. This huge and hostile mob spawns inside of swamp biomes. It likes to hunt prey very aggressively. Oh, it did not seem very interested in my sheep that I put here, though. Also, these anacondas can survive on land and in water, so it might be hunting this catfish over here. Yep. And it'll wrap itself around a prey and then eat it whole. And since it eats things whole, it doesn't... Oh, man. Yeah, these guys can fully swim, by the way. Since it eats it whole, it doesn't drop anything. Oh, it's hunting these catfish. Yup. Okay. So, supposedly, after a few large meals, the anaconda should eventually shed its skin. So I'm trying to hopefully get it to do that. Oh, there we go. Boom. Shed snake skin. So after a few large meals, the snake will eventually shed its skin and you'll get this. So if you get 2 shed snake skins, combine it with 4 vines and a lead, you get yourself a vine lasso. Now the vine lasso is very interesting. It's kind of like a lead, but specifically for getting and capturing hostile mobs. We got a zombie here, which normally you couldn't put a lead on, as you can see. But with the lasso, you can whirl it up and you can grab onto a bad guy. Just like a lead. The only difference between this and the lead is I can't connect this to a fence post, so I can only lead mobs with it and then take it off. I can't just like attach them to a fence or something. Yeah, but you can throw it pretty far. You can also calm down and breed 2 anacondas using cooked chicken. Are they having a baby? Yup, baby anaconda. These are leafcutter ants. Oh, this guy's bugging out. But basically, these guys spawn inside of these ant hills, essentially. And they'll pop out and they'll consume leaves and bring them back inside of their, well, ant mound. But I believe if I get up on the top here... Yep, okay. If you hop on the top, you can get the queen ants to pop out. So these ant hills will spawn all over. As you can see, I'm in the jungle here. There's one here. And then right over here, we have another ant colony hill, which I guess these are just in the forest. As long as there's a queen... in leaves nearby, they will keep repopulating with ants until there's about 20 of them. But these fungus blocks have an interesting use, and I'm trying to get them to work the way it was intended, but I think... Oh, here we go. So these are the anthill chambers, and they get filled up with fungus because that's what these ants are made. Like, they put the leaves in here and they get converted to fungus. And you can see there, this one is kind of full, kind of like how beehives get full. And I can harvest. Oh, it kind of bugged out. Shoot, where did it go? The surface maybe? Yep, it went up to the surface. Awkward. We can harvest the Gongelidia. Oh my god, forgive me. This is a fungus. Oh, I just fed it to an ant. But that is the food source for ants. They would have attacked me for this if I wasn't in creative mode, if I didn't switch to creative mode at the time. But to avoid them getting mad at you, you can use shroom lights. Will pacify, because I guess they love their fungus. You know what? Let's steal from these ants. These guys have a huge colony. Look at this. And the queen ants is just chilling. I don't know why, but there we go. Let's see what happens if I try to take this in survival mode. Seems like to be a common thing. Oh, okay, that ant attacked me. There's 2 queens here. I'm just trying to get my fungus. Only seems like 1 ant got mad at me. Oh, okay, goodbye. Queen ants are mad at me. While collecting the fungus, there's a rare chance to get this item right here, which is the Leafcutter Ants pupa. Basically, what you can do with this one is start your own colony. Boom. Placed it in the ground here, and now we have a new early anthill. And look at that. We got some ants, and they're on the run. Well, after showing off the ants, it's only appropriate to show off the Anteater. This is a fun little mob that, well, does one simple thing very well. And I think he's already sniffed it out with his big nose of his. But these bad boys love ants. And if they can't find a leafcutter ants, they'll go straight for the source. But uh-oh, these ants are returning to their colony. What will happen? Oh, eaten. Oh my god. He slurps them down. Oh, they're all gone. Oh, now it's finally happening. So these guys, whenever there is no more ants to be eaten, I just kind of caught the tail of it, but they start eating away at the ends of the ant trail. They're kind of just looking for more ants in the anthill, so they'll start eating away at this fungus block and can actually dig up leafcutter ants pupa as well as fungus for you. Also, the ant pupa can be used to breed anteaters. And they carry the baby anteaters on their backs. I don't know why they're spinning, but the baby anteaters will just sit on the back of the mother anteaters, which I think is wonderful. Next, we have the toucan. Get out of here, fly. We have the toucan here, and this is a jungle bird that does love fruit. So let's just say you gave a toucan a banana. It'll take that banana, and for some reason, it just inspires it to plant a sapling similar to the fruit it was given. So I gave a banana, and it should plant a jungle tree somewhere. Oh, looks like, yep, there we go. And since I gave it a banana, it turned that banana into a jungle sapling and planted it right here. And just like that, if you give it an apple, I'll give it a few apples, it should go and plant an oak tree somewhere, but maybe this toucan doesn't actually care. All right. What about a golden apple? Yeah, if you give it a golden apple, it can turn into a golden toucan. Dude, I'm like 90% sure these apples are supposed to be getting it to plant. Okay, so it says if I turn it into a golden toucan, it will start planting saplings at a much faster rate. But instead, this toucan is just doing absolutely nothing at all but standing still. And I'm so confused. Okay, here we go. But yeah, the golden apple will turn him into this golden toucan. Okay, so he planted a jungle sapling. Why does he not want to plant an oak sapling? And I'm so confused by this. Interesting. For some reason, the apples are just not working. Oh, but this time it might work. So maybe sometimes it just doesn't care. I don't know. Where are you going? Is he planting an oak sapling? Oh, he did. Okay, so the apples do work. Okay, so yeah, if you give a toucan an enchanted golden apple, it will just continue to place saplings without needing more fruit. Essentially, it could just become an infinite sapling factory, which could be good if you had an automatic farm and just had a couple toucans that just flown around and just planted saplings for fun. But I don't know if it's worth an enchanted golden apple. You can also breed toucans using eggs. And you get the baby toucan. Next, we have the Gelada Monkey. These guys spawn in high-altitude meadow biomes. Now, these are kind of like how the gorillas have an alpha of the group. The ones with the big manes are the leaders, and they all kind of just hang out. They're a bit territorial, though. I think if I go up to one, this one is eating bugs off of the other one, as they do. I honestly thought these guys were a little more territorial, but they seem chill. I imagine if I punch one, though, they're going to go crazy. Oh! Yeah, they're not happy with me. But occasionally you'll see the alphas here with the big manes. They'll fight each other, but they won't kill each other. They just kind of like fight. Their main thing is they eat a lot of grass and, well, eat bugs off of each other. So apparently you can feed them wheat to encourage them to eat the nearby grass. Yep. So apparently you can kind of just turn these guys into lawnmowers. There we go. I fed a bunch of them wheat, and now they're just eating all of the tall grass. So it might be good if you just need to clear out an area and just happen to have some of these guys around you. And they can be bred using a dead bush for some reason. Boom. Baby monkey. But these can't be tamed, and I don't think they have any drops, no. Well, if you go to a mushroom biome, there's a chance you'll see these funky guys called Mungus. Some of these Mungus have different pieces of fungus on their head. Like this one has a red mushroom, this one has a brown mushroom. They make these creepy sounds. So Mungus are generally passive, and if you see one with a certain fungus on his head, like this guy's got a red mushroom, you can put up to 5 on them, and they will occasionally shoot a beam off like we saw earlier, which basically will just plant more fungus or help it grow into giant fungus trees. Oh, there we go. He's beaming it. Will it grow into a big tree? Oh my god, he's using his eyes to do this. Come on, give us a... Oh, it made a fart noise and he grew the giant tree. Also, when he does that, I think it exhausts. Yeah, it exhausts a mushroom when he does that. Also, if they have all 5 on, they explode into a mushroom explosion. Either way, when you load them up with mushrooms and kill them, they explode, which I think is kind of funny. And you get your 5 mushrooms back if they do explode. You can also use crimson fungus from the nether on these guys. But what if... Okay, now that these guys are picking up crimson fungus, I wonder if this will turn into a giant crimson tree. Yes! Ha! So these guys will help turn crimson fungus into giant crimson trees. Of course, you can always just kill them and they'll explode. Every few days, these guys can occasionally drop mungal spores. It's just kind of random, infrequently over the course of a few days. And if you breed them, that's how you breed them with another mungus. But let's just say you stumble across a random rabbit, which I guess you wouldn't here. But if you give a rabbit mungal spores, it will turn into a bunfungus. Now, I should say there is a bunch of bunfungus that spawn in the mushroom biome, which I find interesting because in the book it says they're extremely rare to spawn, but I can see 1, 2, 3 that I didn't spawn in myself. Very interesting that hoglins started spawning near the fungi. I wonder if giant of these make these spawn. That's so interesting, and now they're going around terrorizing the place. Okay, so bunfungus simply fights hostile mobs, which is probably why they sleep a lot of the time during the day because, well, mobs don't really naturally spawn around here. But let's just say I summon a bad guy. Bunfungus will wake up from his slumber. Oh, and this guy came over too. Oh, they got hops. Yeah, so they are just protectors. Now, bunfungus... If you give them a carrot, it actually gives them some regeneration and strength. But these guys can't be tamed. Just by giving them a carrot simply makes them fully passive instead of neutral. And now I got some cool bunny rabbits around here to help me out. All right, next we have elephants. Now elephants can spawn in 3 different forms. You got the big tusked elephants here. You got the little tusked elephants, and of course the baby calf elephants. Okay, I guess they're actually pretty chill. I thought they might attack, but no. As long as you don't attack the herd, which I imagine if you did, they would... Yeah. So elephants can be tamed, but the only kind of elephants that can be tamed are the short tusked ones or a baby calf that grows up to be a long calf. You cannot tame the long tusk elephants. The only way to get a tamed one is by taming a baby that grows up into one. But let me give the elephants, they love the acacia blossom. Why are they running away from me? There we go. I have now tamed the elephant, and I can get on top to ride it. But if I shift click on it with a chest, it now has a storage that if I shift click, the elephant has now a massive storage within it. And you can also give it a carpet to decorate the look of your elephant. So now I have a giant elephant I can ride that has its own inventory I can't access right now. But okay, the only problem I see is the second I get off the elephant, it immediately sprints back to wherever its herd was. So you might be better off getting and breeding your own elephants. which you can breed using the acacia blossoms. You can put different carpet on them. You put red. Ooh, red has like a mushroom look with green hair. Oh, I like these. Orange has like a flaming phoenix look. Gray, they wear an eye patch and look like a pirate. Oh, he's eating the leaves. We have light blue, which has this like clouds design. Blue carpet looks cool. What else we got? Cyan. Ooh, this is funky. What does white do? Oh, white is the snowman look. What about just straight black? Oh, I like all of these. So yeah, you could design your elephant and we'll basically use it as a big old pack mule. Okay, look at that. So I just tamed a baby elephant that is a tusked elephant. So whenever this guy decides to grow up into an adult, and having a tusked elephant is important because you can attack. Oh, there we go. Wow, I just gave him a ton of acacia leaves. So now I have a tamed tusked elephant. So I'm going to put a chest on you, and I'm going to put cyan carpet on you. Let's say I summon some bad guys here, right? If I give my elephant some wheat, he goes into charging mode, which allows him to just charge and do damage to whatever's in front of him. I don't know if the charge is still happening. Oh, but he'll still attack for me regardless. You can use the wheat to motivate the elephant. As you can see, some potion effects were coming out of him because after he goes through a charge attack mode, he needs to rest a little bit. But yeah, that's why you'd want to go through and try to tame a baby elephant so you could get a male adult tusked elephant that can fight for you. Super, super awesome. I do love how you can tame like every freaking animal in this mod. So that was the elephant. Next, we have the rhinoceros. Now, these guys are actually typically a little bit skittish. They might attack. Okay, yep. And they're very fast. And he just hit me with his horn. They just don't want to be messed with. Are you going to still come after me? He has no problem with the villager, though. But yeah, rhinoceroses can attack fast and do a lot of damage. If you don't want to die, you can give them some wheat, which will pacify them a little bit and help them befriend you. So since I gave him some wheat, he's a bit pacified now. And I think that means he'll help me if I'm attacked. Help me, Rhino. There we go, yeah. So kind of like the gorilla situation where I can kind of just make him fond of me. He'll hang around villages and stuff actually for safety. But now that I gave him wheat, he's pretty chill. Now, as you could just see right there, if you click on a rhino with any potion, not a splash potion, but this is a regular potion of poison too, I was able to put it on the rhinoceros's horns. Now that I gave him poison, for the next 15 to 20 hits, he will apply poison. But oh my god, look at this guy has no problem taking on an iron golem. Yeah, so any potion effect you can apply, you could do weakness, you could do slowness or whatever, you can put onto the rhino's horn and it will last 15 to 20 hits. So you can kind of just set him up around your base and he will defend you and potentially even inflict massive damage. I mean, he took out that iron golem with no problem at all. The Tasmanian Devil can be found in temperate forests, and they kind of just lounge around with their buddies until their favorite type of prey comes around, which is actually getting kind of close, the chicken. Oh, they're going. And all these Tasmanian Devils hunt together. They'll defend each other together. I think they're rather chill. I don't think they find the player to be food. Oh god, I thought they were rushing me. Nope, they're going after the chickens. Let's just say there were some bad guys around. Now, these guys aren't going to protect me, but if I can give a Tasmanian Devil, yeah, some rotten flesh. They love rotten flesh, but their screeches will scare away monsters. So as long as you keep one in the area and you're getting chased by monsters, they keep trying to come back, but the Tasmanian Devils scare them away. Now, you can also breed any Tasmanian Devils by using any kind of meat. Bye. Next, we have the Roadrunner. These birds spawn in desert biomes, and they run pretty darn fast. They're often hunted by some of the predators that are in the desert that are luckily not around right now to kill these guys. But if you remember earlier in the video, the falconry hood from earlier required a Roadrunner feather. Well, these are how you get them. Sorry. Oh, I just got regular feathers. What the hell? Okay, interesting. Roadrunners have a rare drop of Roadrunner feathers. I had to kill 4 of them and I got 1. But that's okay because they are pretty easily bred by using maggots. So we'll breed these guys and boom, we got more Roadrunners so we can farm them. It's so funny that they drop regular feathers too. It's like, wouldn't they only have Roadrunner feathers. It's like, why do they have chicken feathers? Sorry I killed your parents. So the Roadrunner boots not only can make the falconry hood, but can be used to make Roadrunner boots. So it takes 4 Roadrunner feathers, 2 chiseled sandstone, and leather boots, and you get the Roadrunner boots. Now, what are the purpose of these? They make you run fast, but only on sand. So you run totally normal here on regular dirt. These do give 3 armor though, which I don't know how that compares to like... Oh, wow. What the heck? 3 armor is better than iron, better than gold. It's actually just as good as diamond, just without the toughness. Roadrunner shoes are actually pretty good, and they give you a decent amount of speed on sand. You know, this could be useful because you could make little sand tunnels or something like that in your world to help you navigate quicker. So here's the natural enemy of the Roadrunner, which is the rattlesnake. Now, these guys are defensive. You don't want to get too close to them because they do that. They shake their rattle to scare you off, and if you do decide to get too close... Ow! Wow. They give you poison 3 for 10 seconds, which is a lot. Oh, hey, look at this. This Roadrunner got me a rattlesnake rattle. But Roadrunners will hunt and kill rattlesnakes. But if you do kill one, there's a chance you'll get this rattle. Now, if you brew the rattlesnake's rattle with a potion of poison, you'll actually get poisonous essence. Now, poisonous essence is an important ingredient to make the potion of poison resistance. But in order to make that, we need a cave centipede leg, and we haven't got to that part. But the rattlesnake rattle is a key ingredient in making the potion of poison resistance. But another thing you can make with the rattlesnake rattle is a maraca. Mixing 3 planks and a stick, you can create a maraca, which I don't know if this has much purpose besides a wonderful instrument, but now you have a maraca. Next, we have the Jerboa here, which is this little hippity-hoppity mouse. They usually only come out at nighttime and sleep during the day, but if you give them seeds, you can see they beg for the seeds. Oh my god, that's so cute. But if you give them seeds, they will give you 10 minutes of the fleet-footed effect, which is an effect that's kind of like speed, but it only specifically affects sprint jumping. As you can see, it kind of goes away when I stop sprinting or jumping. So as long as you can hold a sprint jump, you can go pretty darn fast. And they give it to you for 10 whole minutes by just giving them a single seed. But also, if we can manage to find them again, if we give them... Come on, you get a maggot, you get a maggot. I want to see how small the baby one is. Oh my goodness. Little baby one. But if you give them a maggot or seeds, they don't end up despawning, I believe. So you can kind of keep them around in your base. But I do really like this fleet-footed effect. So these guys are rain frogs. They'll only really ever show up in the desert when it's an overcast day. And they'll end up burying themselves into the dirt when it's not, like this guy here. They're pretty chill. They don't do much besides eat bug-related things. They will come try to get a maggot, though. And you can breed them with maggots. If they feel threatened at all, they'll just start screeching. You see he's puffed up, and now I feel bad. But they start making this interesting noise. Now, if I remember correctly, apparently these guys can help make it rain. While he's jamming out to the music, I don't know if it will. And you know what I realized is it did make it rain. We're just in the desert. Huh. So yeah, if you play a music disc for a rain frog, it will make it rain. Obviously, you'll have to lure them out of the desert for that to really mean anything. So during these storms, like the one we just had this rain frog kick up, anytime it's raining in the desert, these guys start popping up, the Gusters. Now these guys aren't kind, they will attack you. I should probably heal. Oh god, he doesn't even care I'm in creative. Here, I'm gonna eat a golden apple. So look at, he'll get close, he'll pick me up, he'll throw me. Also, if there's any items on the ground, like these, he's gonna pick those up and throw those around too. Oh god, he's after me. Come on, come pick up some red sand. I don't know if they changed oh my god, they sent me flying. Also, hitting them with projectiles is pretty hard because of their windy selves. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh my gosh, finally. It took me killing like 5 with looting 3, but eventually I got the Guster Eye. So the Guster Eye can be used to craft a few things, starting with the Pocket of Sand. I think this is kind of like a King of the Hill reference. Pocket sand, yeah. Pocket sand. Oh, it has some durability, but it allows you to throw sand just like the Gusters do. Let's see. 1, 2. Hey. Okay, that doesn't do much damage at all, to be honest, but it is a fun little novelty, and I guess you can kind of spam it. Next, we have the Gust Maker. By using some cut sandstone, the Guster Eye, and redstone dust, you get this fun little device, I Am Become Guster. So now you can make your own mini storms, which I haven't even tested this out, so... Oh! So if you power the Guster, it shoots out these little... Whoa, wait, it's like picked me up. These little Guster storms. Let's just say I have some bad guys after me. Can I lure them into these gusts? Oh yeah. Dude, even the Guster themselves will get stuck. Bye guys. I could imagine this could be useful for some sort of automation or contraption where you have maybe mobs fall in a mob grinder and then this moves them over somewhere. Because look how far they're getting pushed away. Look at, they all get caught and sent away. Love that. These are crocodiles. They spawn in river and other wetland biomes. They are beasts that will prey on everything from man to monster. And they'll sit here with their jaws open. And I believe if I'm in survival mode, I can block its lunge. I think if I block its lunge, yeah, I can stun. Oh! Oh God. He's pulling me into the water. Oh, somehow I can still block him while I'm in his mouth. That is crazy. So yeah, he'll get you in like a death roll. Kind of like what they do in real life. Can't really do anything about it, but you can stun them temporarily. Yes, so killing a crocodile, it has a chance to drop crocodile scutes. Another way to get the scute is if you have a baby crocodile and when it grows up, it drops the scute. If you get enough scutes, you can make yourself a crocodile chestplate, which gives you 5 armor plus 1 armor toughness. But most importantly, an achievement. Nope. Most importantly, you get increased swim speed. So here I am now in survival mode. Let me actually get in the water here. But look at that. So just by putting this on, my swim speed has been greatly increased. It only has 5 armor, so it's just as good as gold and a little worse than iron, but still with some enchants, or if you're doing anything in water, having the increased swim speed could be quite useful. Now, if you manage to give 2 crocodiles rotten flesh, they will have babies, but this is the one instance, unlike a lot of the other mobs, where it will go to shore to lay an egg. There we go, crocodile egg. Because you're not going to tame these guys, so might as well just... Oh, this one apparently had more eggs. Get over here. Okay, for some reason after breeding them, those guys both had eggs on them. So I guess I'll just walk over here and place them over here. But once you have crocodile eggs, you just gotta wait for one to hatch. I'll plant a bunch. Maybe that'll make it go quicker. But once they hatch, the first crocodile that does will be fond of you and will protect the area. Oh, it's hatching. But yeah, whenever these eggs hatch, you can have a baby crocodile that will protect its place of birth specifically. So if we're able to get some of these crocodile eggs from killing a crocodile, you could basically have one be born right on your base, and it will just sit there and protect your base. It won't become fully tamed, but you can tell it to sit and stay and wander. Next, we have the alligator snapping turtle. These bad boys will spawn in swamp biomes, and they're basically like a hostile version of... Oh, I didn't expect that catfish to have eaten it. I didn't even know that was possible. Anyways, these guys are kind of like the evil version of sea turtles. They hang out with their mouth open. If you get snapped by one, it does a lot of damage. Ouch. Anyways, after a while underwater, as you can see, some develop moss after a while, like this guy. And if you shear them, that time I didn't get anything off of them, but there's a chance when they have moss built up that you will get... Let's see if this will happen. Oh, there we go. So they build up moss for a while, and when you shear it off, there's a chance you will get a spiked scute. And if you get 5 of those, you can put it with a turtle shell and make yourself a spiked turtle shell. So it's like the one previously, except it increases it from 2 armor to 3 armor, as well as adds 2 knockback resistance and plus 2 armor resistance. So here I am with my crocodile chest plate and my turtle shell helmet. Oh, these guys are fighting a catfish right now. Oh, just be careful around these snapping turtles. They will linger at the bottom of rivers and bite you good. Mudskippers are these weird looking mobs that spawn exclusively in mangrove swamps. I think they're rather chill, but if you do attack one, Oh, he just runs away. I thought he would fight back. But mud skippers can fully swim around in water as well as traverse up here on land. I spawned a bunch of them because of sometimes they fight for dominance, kind of like moose do. But it seems like these guys are not interested. But they should raise up their fins and kind of like dance around. Oh, here we go. I think that's what they were just doing there. They kind of just dance around to assert dominance. But if you want to tame a mud skipper, you just need some lobster tail. And once you do, I guess I've made one of these, I've been hostile towards one of these, so he's fighting, but the mud skippers will shoot mud at your opponent, so if you can tame a bunch of them. But now they're unloading on this iron golem. But it seems like they give him slowness with the mud. These guys are not having much luck fighting the iron golem. Hey, the strong survived. Oh, and yes, you can also breed them with lobster, as you saw there. Now we have a baby mud skipper. But once again, just a good defensive mob. Pair this up with the monkey that can throw rocks. You could just have an arsenal of animals that shoot at your opponents. Next, we have the beloved seagull. These guys kind of act like how seagulls do in real life. Like if I leave a piece of bread on the ground, they're gonna take it. So anytime there's food on the ground, like I think it's once every 3 minutes, the seagulls can up and take your food, which is annoying, but there is a way to kind of weaponize this. So if you have a buried treasure map in your hand, and like myself, and I'm relatively close to the X, if I hold a treasure map out and throw a lobster tail down, the seagull will walk right over to where the X is to show me where it is. So, according to this seagull, right here is where the buried treasure is. Boom. Look at that. So that's kind of just like a useful little trick with the seagull. You can also breed them with, you can breed seagulls with rock cod as well. I don't even know why you'd want to breed them, but you can if you want more people to steal your food. But I think they're mostly helpful for finding the buried treasure, so I don't have to dig around. All right, next we have the seal. You can often find these guys just basking on the beach, but they are aquatic. This guy is fully upside down on his back, but there are predators in the water, like killer whales that will try to kill these guys, so they like to go up on the beach to be safe. But they do have a use besides just lounging about. If you pull out some fish... Oh, take the last fish. So I believe if I give a seal some fish, they will scrounge up something for me. Yes. So since I gave him 3 fish, he'll do something for me, which is dig up something in the dirt. I got an offer for you. 3 fish and you get me something good. But basically, when you send seals to look for something for you, you're kind of accepting the fact that it's most likely going to be junk. But they can occasionally find like nautilus shells, shark teeth, and a few other rare items in the dirt. Let's see, what do you got for me, buddy? He's got an egg? Did you eat it? Oh, no, he threw it. Oh, wow. So this time he found a turtle egg, which honestly is a pretty cool find. And it only cost me 3 fish. Anyways, anytime you see some seals, might as well engage in their primitive form of bartering. Just give them some fish and see what they find. I also forgot, I think you can breed seals using lobster tail. And they have a seal baby, which is super cute. Next we have is flying fish, which are these guys jumping and gliding out of the water. These flying fish spawn in a bunch of different colors. Okay, those 3 are the same color, but this guy's a lighter blue. Here, I'll spawn in a few more. You guys can see maybe. Anyways, flying fish will get hunted down by predators in the water, like different sharks and whatnot, but they're able to travel really fast and hop out of the water and even glide their way across the sky. Now, they're pretty basic. They're kind of hard to catch. I believe you can catch one in a water bucket. Yeah, you can catch them in water buckets. Might be an easier way to kill them. But if you do manage to get a few, which by the way, these guys spawn in warmer biomes. They just don't spawn in the cold oceans, but any warm water. So if you get 2 flying fish, all you have to do is put them in a crafting table with 2 string, and you can get yourself flying fish boots, which are only 1 armor. But they do increase your swim speed, but they do something a little more special. Oh my god, look at this. It's like I have living fish just on my feet. That's kind of crazy. It should let me... Yes, I can like jump out of the water and glide a little bit. Oh, I can just... If I just hold down space, I'm just skipping. So it allows you to swim a little bit faster and then hit the surface and glide. Now this will be really useful once you have an elytra, because you can kind of use this to launch your elytra. Oh, and if you keep it launched, you can really just glide out of the water like a flying fish. I wonder if I just hold space here. Oh, wait, if you just hold space, you can just, like, skip across the water. I don't know if this is intended, but yeah, if you just hold down your space button while you have the elytra going, you're just going to skip across the water with these flying fish boots. Oh, wow. We got a ton of momentum. Look how high we are in the air. No fireworks or anything. Holy moly. Get yourself some flying fish shoes today. Next, we have the lobster. These guys will spawn at the bottom of beach biomes. I'm going to put one up on land. There's a really rare chance that they'll spawn as a blue lobster, and somehow when I was setting things up, that was the first lobster I spawned. I wonder, can I bucket the blue lobster? And will it be placed? Oh, it does say blue lobster in the tag. Cool. So yeah, you can bucket up lobsters like this blue one here. They will attack you, kind of. They'll protect themselves mildly. Like if I go up to this lobster and I give him a smack, he'll give me a pinch, but he won't chase me. I forgot I had these flying fish shoes on still. And kind of just skip across the water. But yeah, the lobsters don't have much purpose besides you can scoop them up, maybe put them in a fish tank. But if you do kill them, as you've noticed already, there's many mobs that use lobster tail as what's needed to breed them or whatnot. But yeah, you get a lobster tail. You can also cook lobster tail into cooked lobster tail, which is a decent food source. All right, next we have the catfish. So these spawn in swampier biomes. You can only find the really big catfish in swamps specifically, but they spawn in small, medium, and large, and depending on their size, they can do different things. Apparently, catfish are supposed to be scooping up items when they're in front of them, but... Oh, yep, there we go. So catfish are very unique. Hold on. So sea lanterns will attract catfish. So let's just say I lead this guy right here who just ate, what, 2, maybe even 3 stacks of diamonds at this point. But if I give him a sea pickle, he'll spit out 1 stack at a time. So the logic here is basically catfish can be used to transport items and things. So this catfish is sitting here by the sea lantern. I'm going to drop all these diamonds. I don't know which catfish is going to consume them. Oh god, they all took different ones. And I bucket this fella. And then I spit him out over here. I can use my sea pickle to get my diamonds back. So a small catfish can only store 3 stacks of items, but a medium catfish can store 9. So I think this might be a large catfish, but I don't know. Actually, is this a large catfish? No, this is a medium. So I think it's like how earlier when we were checking out the snapping turtles and how they were getting eaten by the large catfish. Well, now I have a bucket of large catfish. And I'm going to put him down by the sea lantern. Hopefully he sees it, and hopefully he tries to eat the alligator snapping turtle. But no, he's actually just wandering off the wrong way into the wrong biome. I don't know how these guys' behaviors... Apparently they're attracted to sea lanterns, but sometimes they just don't care at all. What if I hold one out? Oh, okay, here we go. There we go. So he just ate an entire snapping turtle. Now if we go into survival mode... and we bucket up this catfish, and we place him down, and give him a... Oh no, now he's getting eaten by the snapping turtle who just ate him. But sea pickles make them throw up whatever they got, so I was able to get the alligator snapping turtle, and the alligator snapping turtle then killed the catfish when it got out. But that's a good way to transition into the catfish drops raw catfish. So you can turn raw catfish into cooked catfish, which is just a good source of food, but also raw catfish is used as a breeding ingredient with multiple animals, as we've seen already, including wolves. These are comb jellies. They only spawn at the bottom of frozen oceans at nighttime, but they're these silly little bioluminescent jellyfish that have this rainbow effect on them. So if you manage to find one, you could scoop one up and keep it in your bucket. This one happens to be a red comb jelly. I wonder... Oh, there's green. There's a few different... color schemes here, but you can capture them in a bucket or you can slay them and they have a rare drop. Here we go. Taste the rainbow, called rainbow jelly. Now rainbow jelly is very interesting. See, you could take rainbow jelly and click on any mob like a salmon here and turn it into an RGB mob. I think this works with pretty much everything. Hello, skeleton. Yep. Rainbow iridescent skeleton. So it's kind of just like adds like a rainbow-like enchantment effect, but it is pretty cool. And I also can eat it and turn myself into a rainbow. And sponge is how you clear it off. So let's just say I didn't want it on the skeleton anymore, or like I cleared it off myself earlier. You can do that. Let's make some rainbow seals. Also, I guess I didn't show it off earlier with the seals, but they have a different color scheme if they spawn in the Arctic biomes. So rainbow jelly can also be used to make rainbow glass. By just surrounding a rainbow jelly with glass, you get 8 rainbow glass. This rainbow glass gives off light, which I think is cool. So it's just dependent on its placement in the world. It seems like it'll just turn into a full rainbow if I keep going. So it seems like there's kind of, you can kind of discover where certain colors are. But this is kind of just like a decorative flex. Like you do kind of have to travel out into the most unobtainable areas of the world just to get it. But it seems like it almost spawns in like a radial gradient, and wherever you place the glass, it will just be that color. Shout out rainbow glass. All right, next mob we have here is the mimic octopus. There's some over here, and one over here. These guys are incredibly interesting creatures. So they'll often disguise themselves as blocks, like this guy was just hiding as sand sitting at the bottom of the ocean floor. They'll often just find a block that they want to disguise as, and they will do so. I'm trying to see if I can get any of them, any of these other ones to change color. So you can tame these guys by giving them 8 lobster tail. Then you're able to bucket your mimic octopus and take them out of here. So if you return to land with your brand new mimic octopus. This one turned green like the grass, which is pretty funny. Once you come back with your tamed mimics, they have unique abilities, which I haven't really gone over yet. Because if your mimic happens to be right next to a pufferfish, it will mimic the pufferfish. Ow. I don't know how that managed to turn you into a creeper, but I have no idea how that happened. But yeah, if you give your pufferfish, if your pufferfish is near a creeper. No! Oh man, he killed my guy. They will mimic creepers as well. And lastly though, they will mimic, like if I put my mimic right next to the guardian, look at, he is now turned into a fake looking guardian, which I think is super funny. But let's just say I take my mimic with me. I spawn him back in and he's still disguised as a guardian. So let's just say I wanted to help me out. So my mimic will also mimic the powers of the guardian. So he just killed the guardian using the beam. Actually, I guess he hasn't killed him yet, but he's trying to. Oh god. But there's an easier way to expedite this. So let's just say you have your mimic here. You can just give him a prismarine shard and he'll turn into a guardian, and it actually won't even consume the prismarine shard. But similarly, why is he running away from me? If I give him gunpowder, he will mimic a creeper. And if I give him a pufferfish, he will mimic the pufferfish. Come on, mimic, I need help. I don't even know, he's trying to explode on the husk, but... Oh, he does do explosion damage when he's a creeper. Kind of. But here, let's turn him into a pufferfish. Oh, no, he turned back into it. Okay. Now I wonder if I'm in water, is he going to stay creeper form to help me, or is he going to transform into something that works in that situation? Oh yeah, now he's a guardian. Huh. And this mimic also turned to a guardian, so I guess it just depends on whatever he sees best. They can't survive too long on land. They can survive a few days on land, I should say. And if you want to keep them from drying out, every few days you do have to apply a slime ball, I believe. All right, well, that was the mimic octopus. I think this guy is super cool. So at the bottom of deep oceans, you have a chance to find these silly guys, the blobfish. The blobfish is a goofy little mob that hangs out really deep below the surface. But if you do get a blobfish to exist less than 10 blocks beneath the surface, they turn into this pinkish color and will immediately, I believe, try to get down into the depths again. Yep. And then turns back into a darker blob because they need to be under a lot of water pressure. This guy went right back down to the bottom. But when slain, these guys drop little blobfish. And if we can get 4 blobfish, we can use that to make fish oil. We used fish oil earlier in the video, but it also has its purpose on its own. So let's just say we're underwater here and we drink the fish oil. It makes you stay at the surface of water because I guess oil floats to the top. If it starts raining, fish oil will keep you doused for another 40 seconds of just being oiled, and it will allow you to well, levitate in rain, which obviously whenever the oil runs out or the rain runs out, you will fall. But it is a fun little thing. I don't know exactly what usage it would be used for, but yep. And when the oil effect runs out, you just plummet back down to Earth. So you can also bucket a blobfish, and if you bring it to surface, you can give it a slime ball, and that will allow it to survive on the surface, mainly for decorative purposes, but I guess these blobfish are a little bit curious, so giving them a slime ball allows them to, well, in this case, this guy's just spinning in circles, but allows the blobfish to survive in case you want a buddy on the surface. Next, we have the Hammerhead Shark. These guys are really cool. They spawn in warmer ocean biomes, and they love tropical fish and squid. And honestly, I hope we can catch one hunting, because that's where these guys become very interesting. Now, I don't know if they go after the player. They don't really seem to care about the player. I'm up just swimming around them. They don't care. But they love fish, and I believe squid. I think if I spawn a squid, they'll go after them. These guys aren't feeling the tropical fish or squids. Oh, there we go. So it circles their prey at first, and they'll attack. We missed it, but it did drop a shark tooth. So when sharks occasionally attack, there's a chance you'll get a shark tooth from them attacking their prey. They take their sweet time attacking, though, I'll tell you that much. Come on, fellas. I mean, we already got the shark tooth, I guess. A ton of... Oh, there we go. We just caught him attacking that squid, but it seems like in general, they don't attack that frequently. Anyways, they have a somewhat rare drop when attacking prey that they will drop their shark tooth. Anyways, once you get the shark tooth, you can craft it with a stick and kelp to make shark tooth arrows. Now, shark tooth arrows are specifically good for attacking creatures that are in the water. The arrows traverse better underwater. Here, so we got a drowned over here. I'm going to pull back and look at. Usually arrows at this distance underwater would drop, but the shark tooth arrow allows me to use my bow pretty much flawlessly while underwater. Here, let's try to see, like, can we hit this shark? Yeah. See, with a regular arrow, that just would not work. Anyways, there's actually more shark uses for the shark tooth, but before we can get to that, we have to cover another shark. So in deep oceans, you have a chance of finding this other type of shark called the frilled shark. These guys live deep underwater. If they're brought up too far, kind of like the blobfish, they will become discolored and slow. Like if we put a frilled shark on land, well, he flops over. He gets really slow until he can get back down into the proper water pressure. But these frilled sharks love to hunt squid. So if we put one near some squid, what it should do is show off its shiny teeth, which just attracts in the squid, and then the shark grabs it and doesn't attack. And occasionally, just like the other sharks, it can drop its serrated teeth. It takes a few tries, like it didn't there. There it is. Boom. Serrated shark tooth. You can also take these sharks and put them in a bucket. The hammerhead sharks you can't, but I'm going to assume you can with the frilled sharks because of how small they are. But once you get yourself serrated shark teeth and regular shark teeth, you can make the Shield of the Deep. You need 3 prismarine bricks, a Heart of the Sea, 3 serrated shark teeth, 2 regular shark teeth, and that gets you the Shield of the Deep. So this is kind of just like a better shield. So this shield does... So this does an exsanguation effect. I don't know what that means. I'm circling it here, but that's what the frilled sharks will do to squids. It's basically like a rapid health draining effect. So if I go to fight these husks and I block their attack, they will get this effect when they try to strike my shield. So if I just hold my shield out, these guys are getting pretty low on health. I mean, that guy was a one hit. That guy was very low as well. So it's just a cool upgraded, like serrated shield that is made out of shark teeth, and I think that's really awesome. So next we have the Cachalot Whales. These are essentially sperm whales. I was trying to Google it. It seems like they're kind of synonymous and mean the same thing, but these are gigantic neutral mobs that spawn in deeper oceans. This one, I think, just managed to swim up into the river here. But these guys, they're pretty chill. They just love hunting squid. So I'm going to spawn in a few squid, which you can hear it using its echolocation to locate the squid, and then it will do a charge, and we'll just decimate the squid. And here we go. You want to catch the whale going after squid because occasionally they'll drop its Cachalot whale tooth. What I've learned is this whale tooth is kind of useless until you get another much rarer item from the whales, which also they use their echolocation here to look for prey, and it's quite loud when you're in the ocean, and honestly quite terrifying sometimes. But in order to get the next ingredient we need from these whales, we're actually going to set the weather to thunder. And when this happens, we'll kind of have to explore a little bit. Well, in thunderstorms, you have a chance of stumbling across a beached cachalot whale. And if you, being the nice person you are, help this whale back into the ocean, which, there we go. Yes! Oh, where'd it go? He popped out an item. Here it is. This whale will not forget your good deed and will reward you with ambergris. Oh, wow. I get an achievement for that as well. But you can get ambergris, which is like a rare material that spawns in that's like made in the stomach of whales. So using your new ingredients you got from the whale, you can make yourself an echolocator. So it takes 2 cachalot whale teeth as well as 1 ambergris, and you can make the echolocator. So the echolocator can help you find nearby caves. I actually haven't tested it yet, so we'll see how this works. I think it was right below me that just shot. Wait, let me... So let's see if it's correct. Is there a cave right below me? Would you look at that? There is. So it's just a cool little thing if you're struggling to find a cave. It's usually probably just good if you are exploring a new area and don't want to dig around looking for caves. But there's another use. If you craft the echolocator with 4 ender pearls, you get the endolocator. And this does what you would imagine. It helps me find the direction of the stronghold. So it's just like the other locator, except this one will lead you straight to the end. Now, I don't know how far the end would be, but this will help you, and you just follow it like an eye. But there's one more use for your ambergris. If you have a fishing villager, this one I had to get up to level... Oh god, I accidentally punched him, so he's actually mad at me. But you could see there's these fisherman villagers, this one is an apprentice level, will give me 20 emeralds for 1 ambergris. Assuming that you don't punch the villager in the face by accident like I did. Now he wants 8, which is a ridiculous price, so I'm going to kill you. But you can make some pretty good emeralds off of ambergris if you ever find yourself stumbling upon a beached whale. Next, we have orca whales. These guys are kind of more dolphin-like. They travel in packs. They also hunt together. Now, these ones just seem to be destroying all of the ice and, whoa, jumping in and out of water. Oh, there it goes. They're neutral towards humans. You don't want to hit one or an entire pod will go after you. Oh, diving after the polar bears and just taking them out. I'm going to test this out. Apparently, you can swim with them and you can get an effect. Yeah. So I got something called Free Willy, which gives me the effect Orca's Might, which gives me much increased attack speed. If you can see with my sword how quickly that's recharging, that's because of these orcas. Doesn't last very long, but you can get Orca's Might and just really start devastating with it. If I summon an Iron Golem here, I'm curious with the increased axe speed, I could probably just... Yeah. Huh. Yeah, Orca's Might is OP with an axe because it basically turns the axe into a sword, so you can just crit spam with the axe without taking breaks. But that's pretty much all orcas do. They will also hunt down. You'll see them fighting many mobs. These guys are killers, except against humans apparently. I can just swim with them and get Orca's Might whenever I want. So down in the depths of the deepest ocean, there's a chance you can stumble across a giant squid. These guys are, in fact, giant. They're pretty neutral and passive unless you are a guardian or a fish. As you can see, he just... Oh, my God. Just picks up the guardian and devours him. Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. That was pretty crazy. But they're pretty chill. They swim around. They're pretty hard to land a hit on. But when you do hit them, they squirt out a bunch of ink. And when you kill them... they drop 5 ink sacs, which is underwhelming, but there's a more interesting drop you can get from these guys. See, there's one type of mob that hates the giant squid, or you could say loves the giant squid. We actually just witnessed it over here. If a giant squid gets caught by a cachalot whale, it will eat it. They're sworn enemies. He's going after the squid. This squid's not getting away. This is crazy. We just encountered this in the wild. But the cachalot whales will hunt down and kill these squids, and occasionally... rip off a tentacle. Now, I don't know how long this fight will go on for, but now I'm just curious. Why'd the whale give up? Anyways, the only time you're going to get a lost tentacle from a giant squid is when a cachalot whale attacks it. So it's pretty cool we just encountered that by accident in the wild. So using your newfound tentacles, if you can get 3 of them and you combine it with 3 copper ingots and a crossbow, you get the grappling... I don't even know how to say that. The grappling I don't even know how to say that word. You get this ridiculous gun that you'll see. Let me go into survival mode here. We'll charge it up and we'll shoot it. I don't know how far we can shoot it, but let's shoot it here. Yup. Basically, it's a big grappling gun made with a squid tentacle, which makes it nice and convenient for traversing across the ocean here. I believe you can kind of Spider-Man things a little bit, so let's go over to something a little bit more inclined. Actually, let's see how far we can throw this. Oh, wow, that went over the village. And you can do up to 3 at a time, which I don't even know how that works entirely, but I think if you hit a mob... Can I hit a mob with it? No, I can just pull myself over, and then you just sneak to undo it. Like, you're down in the caves, and you're like, ah, shucks, man, I gotta get up there. I don't have enough blocks. Let me just sticky my way up. And maybe you didn't do a good enough throw. Well, lucky for you. You get 3 uses, so you can pull yourself up here, and then we'll do one straight up. Oh, God, and now... okay. Takes a bit of skill. So you can't exactly be Spider-Man, but close enough. You could throw it up here. It has some unique physics to it, but it's certainly a very fun device. So far, one of my favorite items in the entire mod. Next, we have an interesting mob called the Triops, which are these like prehistoric little swimmers that survive inside of desert bodies of water. So if I toss a carrot, these guys should go after the carrot. And then after they both have carrots, they're gonna mate. And then when they mate, they lay eggs. Now, you could let them reproduce and let these eggs hatch, but you honestly want to take these eggs into your own hands. Are you mad at me for killing your children? If you mix 2 sets of Triops eggs with a stink in the bottle in a bowl, you get mosquito repellent stew. We haven't really encountered the big mosquitoes. There are some in the nether and whatnot, but when you consume this, it'll make sure all mosquitoes stay away from you for 20 minutes, which is going to be pretty helpful. Next, we have the Tarantula Hawk. These bad boys will spawn in deserts and whatnot, but despite their terrifying appearance and sound, they're actually quite neutral. There's one mob in particular that these guys hate, which are spiders. So if we spawn in a spider, you'll see the Tarantula Hawk take notice and immediately sting and immobilize the spider. Oh, it's crawling over, and yes. So after it paralyzes a spider, it will wait a moment and then eventually take and bury the spider underground. I actually don't know if the mob even oh yeah, it's still technically under the ground here. I don't know if it just stays there until it dies. I'm not quite sure. But these guys will take care of any natural spiders just roaming around. But these guys could be useful allies. Let's see if I can get up close enough to one of them. If you give them spider eyes, about 15, you can tame the Tarantula Hawk by giving it spider eyes. And now it's my buddy, which is nice because they move so insanely and sporadically. Oh, okay, I can make him stay, I can make him wander, or I can make him follow. And when he follows, let's just say I get into a fight with a spider. Oh, he'll immediately take that spider down. Its sting can be useful against other mobs. Hey, buddy, come on back. So now it's stinging these guys. I believe it does 50% of its health. Yep. So actually a pretty useful ally if it isn't for the obnoxious sound it makes. So I tamed 2 Tarantula Hawks. I can breed them using fermented spider eye. They're not ready to breed yet. I need to spawn in a spider, which they will take and prey on. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the Tarantula Hawk's larva, because there was a stunned spider in here, and what they're supposed to do when I breed them is that they will leave their eggs inside of a spider, and now I'm not sure. When I breed these guys, they will find a random spider, paralyze it, and then lay their eggs in it, and then eventually, after a few days, a larva popped out, and I've tamed him, and this will eventually become a baby Tarantula Hawk. When you kill a Tarantula Hawk, you will get tattered Tarantula Hawk wings. And once you get 9 of them, you can make 1 Tarantula Hawk wing. And then once you get 2 of those, you can combine them with an elytra and get a Tarantula Hawk elytra. Which essentially all of this does is turn the elytra into an armored piece. So this adds 3 armor to the elytra and also allows it to be enchanted with stuff like protection and whatnot. So basically, it's just a cool way to make your elytra a little bit better. And it also looks pretty cool. It doesn't cover up the cape like the regular elytra, but I still think it looks really sick. Next, we have a hostile mob called the Skellywag. The Skellywag will spawn by shipwrecks, and occasionally, as you can see, will have a drowned on their back. And these guys are incredibly dangerous. Oh god, luckily I have my new shields to inflict damage, but these guys are quick. They attack a lot. Oh, that one only dropped a bone. But these guys are hostile to everyone. There was another one that was here, but he's already off in the distance hunting down random enemies. So I'm going to spawn a couple more because these guys have some interesting drops. Oh, this one has a flag on him, which I know is kind of a random and rare drop. So I'm put looting on my sword because there are a few drops you can get from these guys. So far, I'm only getting bones. Okay, nice. This is one of them. One of them is fish bones that you can get. All right, we got more fish bones. You're going to need a decent amount of fish bones. I'm trying to see if I can get some of the rarer drops it has. Oh, there we go. We got the Scallywag Skull. This is a super fast melee weapon. It only does 4.5 damage, but it swings super fast. And if actually I remove my shield, you can actually block with this sword. So you can parry with it. I'm going to try to kill one with its own nose. You can block its attacks like a shield. There is a 1% chance it could also drop this novelty hat. There we go. He was number 1. So there is a 1% chance when killing a Skellywag that you will get the, this is a SpongeBob reference, but the novelty hat. All it does is give you 2 armor. It's like an iron helmet, I guess. But it does look pretty cool. I'm a big fan of it. These fish bones actually have an important use. So you need 4 fish bones, 4 slime balls, and the echolocator from earlier, and you can make the strange fish finder. Now this is an interesting device. Basically, there is a rare fish in this mod that only spawns on a singular chunk that's underground, and so basically nearly impossible to find on your own. But if you have the strange fish finder, it'll use its echolocation to lead you towards wherever the secret fish location is, which could be a very far journey. But let's go see if we can find this rare fish. All right, so I think I found the location because I got to a point where this will no longer work. But if I go over here, it does work. And then if I go over here, it leads me to right about here where I can no longer use it. So that should mean there is an underwater pool of water, which, yes, here we go. Underwater. And is this the fish? I think it is. Boom. This is called the Devil's Hole Pupfish. I don't know why this is called Devil's Hole, but you get an achievement called One Chunk Fish, which this is the rarest fish because this is the only chunk in this entire world that these fish will spawn. So around these pupfish, if you submerge moss blocks, they can dislodge slime balls from them apparently. Yeah. So I'm going to assume these guys are so rare because if you get them, bucket them up, and allow a few of them to go around eating moss, I think eventually they also breed with each other after doing that. So these guys are all going at these moss blocks. That guy got a slime ball. Are they going to breed now? Either way, they're producing a lot of slime, which I imagine this is a really good renewable way to make a slime farm. Oh, it happened. Here's a baby pupfish. So very interesting mechanic in the game, and basically as long as you can keep feeding these guys moss, they'll feed you slime and you'll get more fish. But in case anyone is curious in playing the mod, I was able to find this one located within 500 of 00, so they're not, at least in this instance, doesn't seem like they spawn ridiculously far. Here we have the mantis shrimp. They spawn in these warm ocean biomes as well as mangrove swamps, and these guys are just straight up predators. They eat tropical fish, they eat pretty much all types of enemies, and they are quite fast and efficient. Actually, there's another one over here in a different color scheme that spawned. This one kind of looks like the hungry caterpillar. Anyways, it's wise to not anger these guys. They're neutral, they're pretty chill, but if I do decide to punch one for some reason... Oh, is he running away from me? Or does he only care about fish? Yeah, okay, that's all it is. Huh. So these guys will feast on fish, which is also a good way to tame them. If you give a mantis shrimp, I think it's 15 to 20. Huh, that was only like 10. But I gave him a bunch of tropical fish, and now I have a shrimp friend. I'm going to put him in follow mode, and we're going to head to the surface. So after 5 minutes, these guys will dry out on land. But if I sneak and I give him a bucket of water, it can live on land forever. It just keeps the bucket in its hands. Not only will these guys fight by my side, I don't know how he lit that husk on fire. But good lord, he does a lot of knockback on these guys. Boom. And when they're injured at all, you can heal them up with fish. But they have an even more interesting use. Let me see. Staying, breaking blocks. So we can put them in breaking blocks mode. And let's just say I want him to break a cactus. I simply shift-click a cactus into his hand, and he should go and start breaking cactus. Okay, breaking blocks, and I gave him a block. Maybe I gotta give him a different block. Maybe he can't break cactus. Will you break a stripped oak log if I put you into breaking block mode? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Took him a while, but he figured it out. I don't know why he's being so weird, but basically when you change the mode of your shrimp, they're staying, there's breaking blocks, wandering, and following. So if I put him in breaking blocks mode and I sneak and I give him a block, he'll seek out and break that exact block, supposedly. So I guess he's kind of slow. Maybe he's useful for like running farms, like maybe you could have him break pumpkin blocks for you. But in theory, you could command this guy to break more interesting, like what happens if I give him sand? How about sand? How hard is that to find and break? There you go. Okay, he's working a little bit faster with sand, but still, it seems like he breaks one block every 10 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. I imagine if you can tame a ton of these guys, I mean, you can tame mantis with tropical fish, and then you can breed them with lobster tail to get a baby one. So now I got 2 shrimp breaking sand. They're not super fast at it, but you know what? They're making progress. All right, next we have the cave centipede. I don't know why this guy is like bugging out over here. Maybe he's stuck. There you go. So the cave centipede is a kind of rare cave mob that is hostile towards everyone and everything. Let me get myself a sword. Let's try to fight this bad boy. All right. Cave centipede. Oh, God, he's creepy. He also poisons. Oh, my goodness. Ow. He gave me poison, too. I'm going to go in. I don't want to die yet. But yes, the cave centipede is this creepy little dude that, crawls around the caves like you just saw. And if you kill him, he has a chance of dropping cave centipede legs. Cave centipede legs can be brewed in a brewing stand with poisonous essence to make potion of poison resistance for 3 minutes, which seems like a pretty good potion. So if you manage to find 7 cave centipede legs, you can make yourself cave centipede leggings, which is 6 armor and 0.5 armor toughness, and most importantly, enables wall climbing. So let me throw on these cave centipede legs, which are the same amount of armor as diamond leggings, and apparently will allow me to climb walls. Yep. Wow. That is pretty nice. I'm just going to climb all the way up here. Oh, there's a skeleton. Ow, I'm on 2 HP. Can I, like, jump and grab the wall? Oh my God, I can. That is OP. All right, next mob we have here is the Rocky Roller. This guy only spawns in dripstone caves because it's this scary, almost dinosaur-looking thing covered in dripstone spikes. So I'm gonna go in survival mode and try to fight him. Oh God, I gotta dodge his roll attacks. Ow. God, he's quick. I have full diamond armor, by the way, and this guy is... Oh, I killed him. And I got his rocky shell. Okay, I gotta get away from these guys. So yeah, the rocky rollers will only spawn in dripstone caves, and if you kill them, you can get their rocky shell. If you manage to get 8 rocky shells, you can make yourself a rocky shell chest plate, which this one is only 5 armor when like a diamond chest plate is 8 armor. So you are sacrificing some armor points, but when you run the rocky shell and you hit sprint, you can roll forward just like the rocky roller. And you can also roll right into enemies and just keep rolling around. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but certainly a good way to do some damage. I mean, I killed him without even hitting him once. Just rolling through. Boom. And also apparently the rocky roller chest plate makes it, it makes you way slower at swimming. So like reaching the surface and you get stuck to the bottom. Wearing this chest plate does not help out with your swimming skills, that's for sure. So the next mob is the Screecher, which is this creepy looking fella here that spawns in deep dark biomes. And I don't know why he just jumped to, oh wow, he's just hanging on the ceiling now. But yeah, he spawns in deep dark biomes, and look at him, he's just hanging around. This guy is dangerous and can really put you in a bad position. So let's just say I'm in survival mode, maybe. He sees me, he starts clapping. Oh, and the warden spawned on me. So the Screecher is just a snitch. Look at him. Yeah, so that is the Screecher. He's a new fella that spawns. Oh, wow. He spawns exclusively in the deep dark biomes, and apparently the warden hates him because the warden just blasted him with a screech and killed him. Let's say I run into him again. If I throw a snowball at him, It disables his screeching, or any projectile for that matter. And boom. So if you have a projectile like an egg or a snowball or an arrow or something of the sort, if you throw it at the Screecher, it will disable his ability to screech for about 3 seconds. So if you get enough of these Screecher souls from killing Screechers, you can create the Skulk Boomer using 3 Skulk blocks and 3 bone blocks and 3 Screecher souls. You get this interesting block. Now if you put this down, so if you have a Skulk sensor down near this Skulk Boomer, it's essentially a new trap device. So if I can set off the sensor... Oh, I see. So it needs to have a redstone pulse, but if this sensor sends a pulse over to the boomer, it sends off a boom that does damage to nearby mobs. For example, if I spawn some bad guys and start hopping around, they all get hurt by the boom. So essentially, you could use it for mob farms, or you could just use it as a trap where people fall in and get boomed. I need this to go off again. Boom! So what's interesting is it doesn't seem like the boom affects any players. But yeah, if you have a Skulk sensor near this thing, it will give off a devastating boom, and anything within 3 horizontal blocks will take some damage. So it's the perfect little mob trap, and I think it's a cool little block made by the Screecher Souls. So down in the deepest depths of the caves, there's a chance you find this mob called the Murmur. And this one is a little bit terrifying, and you'll see why. I'm going to go into survival mode over here and see. Yeah, the Murmur will extend its head to get a good look. Oh god, and it will bite you with its long extended head. And the problem is, its head will only take half damage. So, to properly kill the Murmur, you should go after its body, because the head only takes half the damage. Now, in this instance, it only dropped red wool, but the Murmur does have an interesting drop. Boom, you're dead. One very interesting drop is the elastic tendon, which has a great crafting recipe we'll have to dabble on a little bit later once we cover a couple more mobs. But there is one really rare drop I'm going to try to get. But yeah, the Murmur will only spawn in the deepest depths of caves, and on extreme rare occasions, it can even spawn in cherry grove biomes. But, okay, you're dead again. Was that it? Yes, so it is pretty rare, but you can get their kimono, which acts like a chest plate, as you can see here. And it's not great for armor. It only has 3 armor, but it gives you +2 block reach and +2 entity reach. That means here in survival mode, I can reach as far as this block right there. From all the way here, I can place a block. But if I take it off, the nearest block I can reach is this block. So it just gives you 2 block farther reach, which is probably more appealing to people who are builders or just want a little more distance to swing mobs at. But definitely worth farming a bunch of those guys. Granted, I had to kill about 5 of them with looting 1. I guess I thought I had looting 3, but with looting 1, I had to kill about 4 or 5 of them to get 1 kimono, which isn't too bad. But also another use of the kimono is that it makes all undead mobs neutral while you wear it. So when I go through caves wearing this, zombies and skeletons will not attack me, but creepers, spiders, and other interesting mobs will go after me. Next mob we have here is a very interesting one called the Underminer. So the Underminer is a ghostly miner that lives within the mine shafts. These guys are a bit creepy. They can phase through blocks, and they'll only really show themselves if you spend a lot of time within a mine shaft. Occasionally, if you follow them, they can be used to help find ore. But if you drop an ore near them, let's just say, you should seek out similar ores nearby. Okay, see, I give him diamond ore, and now he's swinging at the wall right here. So, since he's a ghost, he can't actually break blocks. If you see an Underminer mining a block like this after you gave him an ore, or if you just see him doing it in general, it probably means... Ooh. So yeah, there's an achievement. Break the block an Underminer is mining, revealing a hidden ore. So yes, the Underminer will help you find hidden ores. So if you give him the ore you want, he will go out on foot and search it out for you. And he's pretty chill. He won't attack you unless you attack him. Anyways, the Underminer has a rare drop if you do manage to kill him. Oh, did I get it? Ooh, yes. So yes, the Underminer has a rare drop, which is the Underminer pickaxe, which is this translucent pickaxe that you can use. It actually is not a terrible pickaxe. It does a decent amount. So this is where the ghostly pickaxe has a rare advantage. So let's just say my entire inventory is full, and I want to mine this dripstone. And suddenly you're like, Dave, where is all the dripstone that you're mining? Well, that's what's really interesting about this pickaxe. So when your inventory is full, the ghostly pickaxe gets the ability to hold up to 9 stacks of items. So as you can see, my inventory is full and I'm mining these blocks and nothing is dropping. Because if I, let's say I drop this cobbled deep slate, all of a sudden 12 dripstone appears in its spot. If I drop my screecher souls, all of a sudden 5 tough appears. So basically, this ghostly pickaxe will hold on to items until I have enough space in my inventory. And if you want to repair them, you just use a phantom membrane and an anvil, and it becomes a very helpful little pickaxe. Next, we have cockroaches. Cockroaches are a common mob, kind of similar to the bat, that spawn in dark areas. They're also very scared of light, so if any light shows up, they will scatter and run away. They're often pretty skittish. If I walk up to them, they will probably run away, but they will become more fond of you if you give them some sugar. They'll also breed if you give them sugar to make a baby cockroach. But apparently, cockroaches love the maraca. Get over here. He took it. Wait, give it back. Oh my god. Yes. Oh, sorry. Give me it back. Yeah, so I guess if you see a cockroach and you made a maraca with the rattlesnake tail like we did earlier, and you give it to a cockroach, it will play you a song and dance. That's amazing. But besides that, cockroaches really don't have a ton of use. Cockroaches, when you kill them, have a chance of dropping cockroach wing fragments. And if you craft 9 of those wing fragments together, you can get an entire cockroach wing. The only use for the wing is that you can combine it with awkward potions and a brewing stand to get potion of bug pheromones, which you can make last for 8 minutes. Now, I believe this should deter any arthropod mobs, including the centipedes and spiders, but I'm not entirely sure what an arthropod mob is. And then spider survival mode. Yep. So yeah, I think when you take the bug pheromone potion, as you can see, the spider here isn't even going after me, and the centipedes have no interest in me either. So if you're able to make that from cockroach wings, you're much safer in these caves, especially against some of the creepy mobs that now exist in here. Next mob we have here is the Tuscan. This is basically the overworld ancestor of the hoglins that spawn in the nether. And these guys have some unique features. First thing, if you're in survival, these guys will, by default, be a bit hostile, but they won't chase you down. If you run away from them, they kind of just give up. They don't care that much. But if you manage to get up and kill one, it is a fantastic source of raw pork chops. Without any enchantments, one Tuscan drops 6 pork chops. Now, similar to the hoglins and how they love their fungus, these guys love mushrooms. So you can give them brown mushrooms to pacify. Oh, okay. But I guess the baby needs it too. And you can give them red mushrooms to breed. But if you manage to pacify one, you can slap a saddle on it and it will run forward for a bit and eventually kick you off. But there's this rare thing called ancient hog shoes. These can only be obtained through piglin bartering, because piglins, the lore is that piglins used to ride these guys until they brought them to the nether and they turned into hoglins. So if you do some basic gold bartering with piglins, there's a chance you'll get ancient hog shoes. Now, if you go up to this hoglin or this Tuscan and you click on it, it'll attach the shoes, and that suddenly makes this guy way faster. You can't make him jump or anything, and I think eventually he'll still kick me off. But if I give him the hog shoes, he goes way faster. And all I have to do is get back on. I don't know. Every once in a while, he just decides he needs to kick me off. But these hog shoes make this Tuscan super fast. Now, what's interesting is ancient hog shoes can be enchanted with Soul Speed, Frostwalker, Feather Falling, and Depth Strider, which will all be applied to the Tuscan itself, which is quite fascinating. The next mob we have here, shooting its ice spikes off, is the Frost Stalker. So the Frost Stalkers are these raptor-looking frosty dinosaurs that spawn in ice spike biomes. As you can see, they have these spikes, but actually they use them to attack the Tuscan. Let's see if I can make another one do it. These guys love hunting. They like to circle their prey. Okay, here you go. So it shakes off all of its spikes. Oh, I managed to kill that one. These Tuscans are not to be played with, I see. But if you do manage to kill a Froststalker, there is a chance it will drop its Froststalker horn and occasionally some packed ice. which actually all you need is 5 packed ice and 1 frost stalker horn to make yourself a frost stalker helmet. Now, if you wear a frost stalker helmet, that means you can live amongst the frost stalkers and they won't notice that you are a human. Now, I should mention if I take this off, they will immediately get ready to attack and kill me. So, as you can see, this guy shed his spikes earlier. The only way for these guys to get their spikes back is by going in water. Will you grow your spikes back? Oh yeah, he did grow his spikes back. And once they do get their spikes, I do believe they get a bit of a Frostwalker effect. Not 100% sure though. Let's see. Yep, he has Frostwalker, making him quite hard to escape from. But if I wear my Frostwalker helmet, I can hang out with these guys, and that allows me to breed them as I'd like, with pork chops. Undercovers. I imagine it's probably pretty beneficial to breed these guys because they are a packed ice farm, basically. You can capture a few of these guys. You could definitely farm them for all of their packed ice. So this is one of these special overworld mobs called the Sunbird. The Sunbird can... Oh, I got an achievement for being even just near it. The Sunbird can be found at the highest peaks in all of the land. And as you can see, I'm in survival mode, slow floating down because I got close enough to the Sunbird to get the Sunbird's Blessing, which basically just gives me slow falling and allows me to glide quite gracefully. It's about to run out. But the Sunbird is kind of hard to find. It only spawns at the highest peaks possible, so I looked for a jagged mountain biome and found him right away. I don't really know if he just ends up wandering off because he's quite far away now. But the Sunbird is quite holy. So, like I said, it will give you that Sunbird Blessing, which will allow you to slow fall, like I'm doing in survival. But if I strike him... Oh! So I don't know if you could see that, but since I hit the Sunbird, I got the Sunbird's Curse, which makes me fall like a rock. I can't even not lay down. I've sunk into the bottom of the ocean and I can't swim because of the curse. It has 10 seconds left, so maybe... No, I will definitely die. So yeah, you do not want to attack the Sunbird because it will make you super heavy and drop down. And I was lucky there was an ocean behind me. If somehow you do get close enough, it is possible to get the Sunbird on a lead, which is quite convenient because if I summon, let's say, a husk, any undead will be blinded by the holy light of the Sunbird. So if you're able to catch the Sunbird with a lead, which I was actually kind of surprised you could with a lead, you could just attach them to a fence post near your base, and the Sunbird will constantly give you slow falling. The Sunbird Blessing will make the Elytra a significantly more efficient form of travel. So if you can manage to capture the Sunbird at your base, you could have an Elytra takeoff point, which would allow you to survive with much less fireworks. I mean, I used 1 firework, and with the Sunbird Blessing, I'm able to fly quite far before I even really start descending. So the Sunbird is really more of a mythical creature that can give you some cool buffs that's just hard to find, but he doesn't have any drops or any other purpose. So technically, there's one more overworld mob before we go to the Nether, and that is the Sea Bear. This is a SpongeBob reference. It's not possible to find in the game, but it does exist within the files, and you can summon it with a command. It's a fun little reference. I thought I would show it off to you guys because technically it does exist within the mod. But now it's time to head to the Nether. All right, so our next mob is here in the Nether, and I'm hoping I can get it to pop out of the lava here. I know it hates players. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that is the Bone Serpent. This bad boy hates players and wither skeletons and will jump out of the lava to go after you. Oh, here it is. Get over here. Oh my god, he's so hard to hit. Yes! Ha! Alright, I figured out the method. So the Bone Serpent, well, in this case, drops some bone blocks and 11 bones. But occasionally has a bit of a rarer drop. But when you kill him, there is a chance he'll drop 0 to 1 Bone Serpent Tooths. So you can actually brew a new potion with the Bone Serpent Tooth, but you have to brew it with 3 lava bottles, which you can get by just going up to lava. And, I mean, it will light you on fire, but you can get 3 glass bottles of lava. And when you brew that with the Bone Serpent Tooth, you get Potion of Lava Vision. Now, you might wonder what Potion of Lava Vision does. Well, if I drink it, it suddenly lets me see through lava like it was water. So if I give myself some fire resistance as well, now as the Minecraft player, I can just go under the lava and see clear as day. Having lava vision does make it much easier to spot bone serpents beneath the lava surface. You can see where they hide and hang. Next, we have the Straddlers. The Straddlers are cousins of the Striders that you can only find in basalt deltas. These guys, unlike the Striders, are hostile by default. Hold on, I'm gonna make a little... These guys will launch strad poles at me. Oh gosh, luckily I have fire resistance. But they are immediately hostile and shoot these strad poles at you over and over and over again, which are like these tiny tadpole looking guys, which after they launch the strad poles at you, you can just find them kind of swimming around temporarily. Let's see if they'll launch one at me. There we go. Boom, and you can capture a strad pole inside of a lava bucket. If you manage to kill a Straddler, you have a chance to get a Stradolite, which is a important and very cool little drop from these guys. So Stradpoles are just the babies of the Straddler that you can bring, and also these guys can swim in water. So if you manage to get 4 of these Stradolites and mix them with 3 netherite ingots, I know, not very cheap, you can get yourself the straddle board. This thing allows you to traverse lava, so it's kind of like a boat, but for lava. So you can stand on it and ride. Now you gotta be careful. As fast as this thing is, holy crap, and a great way to traverse lava, you have to be careful. Despite being made out of 3 netherite ingots, if I slam into the wall, there's a chance, I don't know why that stopped me from slamming into the wall. There's a chance you can crash this thing if you're a little too reckless. I'm honestly not having that problem. Oh, you can jump? I didn't even realize you could jump with this thing. But I think this thing is freaking awesome. Oh my god, I'm jumping over the land. Jump. Ow. Ow. Oh, I did. I crashed it, and I'm dying in lava. So in that instance, it literally just broke and dropped the item, but I still picked it up. So I wouldn't recommend straddle boarding if you don't have some fire resistance or heals around you, because one slip up, you could die with your super expensive surfboard. So there's 2 more crafts you can actually make with Stradolite. One is the Stradolite tack, made with 3 Stradolite and 2 string. And the other is the Stradolite saddle, when you're made with 2 Stradolite and 2 saddles. You're gonna need both of these if you're gonna wanna tame the beasts within the lava here. Now let's see if they'll pop back up. I saw them hanging around earlier. But a good way to find these guys is by using your new Lava Vision potion. Oh, and we can see the Leviathan is hanging out at the bottom. Eventually, they come up, I don't know, for air? I'm not quite sure. Oh, is he coming to surface? He is. Okay, when they come to surface, you can put the satellite tack on him to tame him, and then you can put the Stradolite saddle on him to ride him. So you need both of these, and then suddenly, you don't even need your board no more. Granted, they're not nearly as fast, but God, look at them. Oh, apparently you can pick up some friends along the way. I picked up, how many of these can we pick up? Oh, they're gonna get really cold up here, though. Oh my God, we can pick up mass transit. Ride a Leviathan with 3 other passengers. So you can put up to 3 passengers on this bad boy. These Leviathans you can actually bring to the overworld as well. And when you put them in lava, and when you put them in water, they solidify into a harder, more obsidian-like form. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you can't have any passengers in your Leviathan, but you can take your Leviathan right here to the beautiful overworld. He's steaming. Oh, there we go. He's solidified into an obsidian Leviathan who is now very fast. And quite honestly, a fantastic way to traverse the overworld considering how much health he has and how many passengers you can bring on it. So it's a bit of a project, but you could bring this guy straight to the overworld. So in the Crimson Forests of the Nether, you can find these nasty dudes called the Crimson Mosquito. No, he's going after the Strider. Oh my God, he's sucking blood out of the Strider. That's messed up. Once the Crimson Mosquito gets to attach to any warm-blooded creature, it will go after any of them. You'll see he'll latch onto me and suck the blood out of me. And then, once he has blood, he can start shooting it back at me, which is really messed up. But if we kill him here, we can get its blood sack. I'm gonna kill a couple. Oh! God, get it off me. So you also have a chance when killing the Crimson Mosquito to get the Crimson Mosquito proboscis. Oh, I said that right first try. So this is a Crimson Mosquito proboscis, and if you get 2 of the blood sacs, which by the way, you can only get the blood sacs is if you kill the Crimson Mosquito after he's extracted blood. So if you take these drops from the Crimson Mosquito, 2 blood sacs and a Crimson Mosquito proboscis, and 3 nether bricks, you can make the blood sprayer. So the blood sprayer will use blood sacs as ammunition. Oh god. Oh god. I mean, those guys have a lot of damage. That wasn't too bad. It does a lot of consistent knockback. And, well, if you have a farm of these mosquitoes, I guess you could just collect these. Speaking of which, I think the only way you can farm these guys is if you bring a regular fly here to the nether somehow, which you can breed these guys. They will eventually transform. I don't know if it's just that fly or if they need to be in this biome. Oh, yep, there it is. So you bring a fly from the overworld to the nether, it will transform into one of these mosquitoes. And you can, in fact, breed flies. So I don't know, if you wanted to make a farm, bred a bunch of flies and send them to the nether, you could get unlimited blood sacs. So if you take the Crimson Mosquito proboscis and mix it with a maggot, you can get a Crimson Mosquito larva. Now, this larva can be used pretty much anytime larva is used, except you can actually use Crimson Mosquito larva to breed leviathans. So if you can get 2 to the overworld eventually, you could just have unlimited. Oh, there we go, a baby leviathan. In the warped forests of the nether, you can find the warped toad. This guy loves eating stuff like mosquitoes. Even though the Crimson Mosquito is quite rare, he will snatch it with its tongue and eat it. But because they're so rare in warped biomes, if you approach a warped toad in the wild, you can tame it with Crimson Mosquito larva, which I actually just did with the first one I clicked on. The warped toad is a great buddy to have because it can eat those mosquitoes. So if you can tame him, you can of course tell him to follow, stay, or wander. But he's a great companion to bring with you across the nether, especially against the giant evil bugs like the mosquito. You can also heal him with the larva in case he needs to be healed. Now, if you are to... to fight a warped toad, it's kind of hard because he hits you with your tongue. But when you kill him, he has a chance to drop Shroom Light. But I don't think that's worth killing those awesome toads for. But, you know, had to for science. So in Soul Sand Valleys, occasionally you can find the Soul Vulture. You can find him circling around prey. But this guy has a very interesting attack. Let me go into survival, see if he'll attack me. Hey, over here. So he attacks with a soul steal effect, where basically he takes your health to regenerate his own, which makes the battle a bit tough. Boom, smacked. Oh, God. So, honestly, it would be a great time to have my toad buddy with me. Unfortunately, I killed him for science. Oh, my God. These guys got me good with these angles. Got him. Okay, that one only dropped bones and coal. So I think the only way to get the special drop you need is to allow the Soul Vulture to get at least 5 hits off on you. I tried to make it a controlled environment. Damn it! So he can actually, he has to take damage for him to actually steal health. Okay, he did it again. Okay, now, after stealing my soul 5 times, he's now charged up. So hopefully... Oh my God. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just bugging out. But once this vulture soul gets full, it has a chance to drop the soul heart. I don't know why I can't get it to work. I've watched other tutorials. It seems like it should work because I get them bloated, but then they just, they don't drop it. But maybe I'm being unlucky, but I do have looting 3 and also I do have mob drops on. And the soul heart does not say, according to Just Enough Items, that it drops from a mod. So perhaps there's a bug. But hopefully there isn't. Because with the soul heart, you can brew that with awkward potions to make a potion of soul steel. Which soul steel is just like the ability the vulture had. So let me take some damage from the skeleton. And as you can see there, as I did damage, I healed. So this could be very useful for many applications, if you can get the soul vultures to work. I don't know why I couldn't get them to work. I tried for probably 45 minutes. Next, we have the drop bear. This guy lives in the nether waste biomes and will hang from the ceiling. He'll get up right above you and he will, well, you'll see, he's the drop bear. He's following me from above. and he'll pounce down and try to maul you. But if you kill him, you get this fancy little doohickey, the Drop Bear Claw, which has a couple uses. So there's 3 big things you can do with the Drop Bear Claw. One is it can be a good substitute for iron to make a flint and steel, kind of just giving you a way to get out of the nether in case you forgot to make a portal or lost your portal. Another thing is you can make a potion of clinging. This potion allows you to cling to ceilings. For example, if I'm up here, hold on, let me go into survival mode so you guys can see. See, I'm coming out here and it's like, whoa, big drop. Oh, wait a minute. I've clung to the ceiling and it will, oh, okay, wow, that almost killed me. But yeah, this potion, you probably want to be on a flat ceiling, but if you take it, you can cling onto the ceiling like the Drop Bear, which could be useful in some SMPs or who knows what you could use that for. Next is, if you remember these elastic tendons we got from the Murmur, you can mix 3 of those with 3 Drop Bear claws and you get the Tendon Whip. Now this is a very interesting and unique weapon that when you swing it, it will just cling on to the nearest bad guy and actually go through multiple of them if you need. Oh gosh, they're after me. Okay, big jump. Oh, have you ever seen parkour like that? And luckily, you don't even need good aim. It just auto-locks on the nearest bad guy. So it's kind of like you have the neck of the Murmur with the Drop Bear claws at the end to do some damage. Which you can, in fact, put sharpness on this thing. So I put sharpness 3 on here. And suddenly, you have quite the whip. So that is a ridiculous weapon. And a mixture of 2 very different mobs, but I love it. Okay, now for a really interesting nether mob. So let's just say you get a Mungus all the way out here into the nether. And you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little warped fungus on this guy. And then there was a crimson mosquito that came by and sucked the blood out of it. Well, then it turns blue and starts violently shaking, and oh wow, it's getting bigger. Why is that? You get the warped Mosco. Now, this guy loves to, he's a super buff OP mosquito dude that usually goes and attacks every living thing. Okay. And now he's draining the blood out of me. Oh my god. Okay, I had full netherite armor and he almost killed me immediately. But if you do manage to kill him, which I don't even know how you're supposed to approach that. That's up for you, the player, to decide. But if you manage to kill him, he has a bunch of attacks, like picking you up there and draining your blood, which does heal him, by the way, as well as just slamming you into the ground and beating you up. So once you kill him, you get 2 drops. You get Warped Muscle and Hemolymph Sac. Now, if you mix that with a Crimson Mosquito Proboscis, and a Mimic Cream, which is an item we'll get later in the video. It's one of the last mobs drops it in the end. It's pretty rare. But once you get a Mimic Cream and all of these, and you mix it with the Blood Sprayer, you get the Hemolymph Blaster. Now, the Hemolymph Blaster is kind of like the Blood Shooter, but just better. So let's see. I only have 3 hearts, but let's see if I can take out these zombie pigmen. Now, I think the Hemolymph Sac is how you reload. But you can just shoot out... Oh, get over here, buddy. You basically got a machine gun. And yes, so the Hemolymph Sacs are how you reload. So that would mean you would have to find and kill more of those guys. You could probably capture a Crimson Mosquito and a Mungus and make sure this Warped Mosco spawns in a controlled environment so you can just kill him efficiently without getting the crap beaten out of you. But that's for you, the player, to figure out. It's time for endgame. So, welcome to the end. The first mob that you can find in the end are the Cosmic Cod. These are like intergalactic fish. They fly around in schools. If one is attacked, yeah, the entire school will pretty much immediately disappear and leave. You can just run up and grab a Cosmic Cod and get a bucket of Cosmic Cod. And if you place that cod down and smack it, you can get 1 cosmic cod, which this is just kind of a basic fish that'll have slightly more purpose soon enough. So if you get a cosmic cod, you can find these creepy little dudes called a cosma. And it takes a few of cosmic cod. They're a little skittish, but if you can get a few to them, like this guy, I now have tamed the cosma. And what does that mean? Will he fight by my side like every other mob? Actually, no. He is actually a very useful little buddy. Hey, guy, come with me. Who will just help you out in case, you know, certain things can happen in the end, like, whoops. Yep. So if you fall off the end island, your Cosma will not let you die. He'll bring you right back up. I hope you're not going to just drop me. Okay. But yeah, so he is just a passive little buddy that will save you from ever falling into the void. And all it takes is a couple cosmic cod, and it's very much worth it, in my opinion. So these next mobs are the ender grades. There's the goofy looking guys that kind of are just floating around in the void of the end. These guys love chorus fruit. But first, before we get to them, you need to learn about this new crafting recipe, which is the chorus fruit on a stick. And these guys are like flying space pigs. So if you can go up to one and tame them, you can drop a saddle on top. Actually, I guess you don't need a saddle. Sorry, no saddle. You can just sit on top, but you can't guide them. Just kind of like a pig. But what these guys will follow... Okay, I actually don't know how to make them go any higher up. Okay, there we go. These guys will follow your chorus fruit on a stick. Granted, these guys are pretty slow and they get attacked by these dudes. Hey, I haven't got to your segment yet, buddy. You can breed ender grades with chorus fruit so you can get more of them, but they're really just kind of a cheap way to slowly traverse the islands. But it really isn't enough. Now, as you can see, all of these guys have been infected with the ender flu. And if you didn't catch it, there's this mean-looking little virus-looking dude over here who is doing it all, called the enterophage. The enterophage is a monstrous biochemical automation. So these guys will go around inflicting a virus, essentially. So these are the I don't even know how to say this. People are going to clown me in the comments for not knowing how to pronounce enterophage. But these little virus guys, they have a little eye of ender in them when they are primed and ready to attack. They don't like when you get too close to them. Actually, this guy's pretty chill. But if you make them mad, eventually they might latch onto you. Like that. And give you the ender flu. And basically, whenever they attack with the ender flu, they lose their eye of ender. But like you just saw there, they attacked an enderman to get their eye of ender back. Oh, you're really going to be mad at me? Okay. Oh my god. I didn't mean to look at you, dude. Anyways, if you manage to slay one of these guys, they have a chance to drop these really unique weapons called the Capsid. And you get the achievement Capsid 19. Now, this block is super important. Also, yes, I am still vibrating. So if you have the ender flu and it runs out... Okay, I really hope this doesn't kill me, but when you have the ender flu and it runs out, it does a decent amount of damage and spawns in another one of these dudes. Yeah, okay, that was about half health. And then it spawns in one of these guys again, which is a good way to get them to spawn in because you're going to want their capsides. They're going to fly away here, but... So one thing you can craft with these new capsid drops is an enterophage rocket. Now, these are just kind of like alternatives to fireworks. They work with elytras. They are functionally identical to fireworks, but they have a cool little DNA effect at the end. And they still also will help out with elytra flight. There's more uses for the capsid, but I'm going to finish the last two mobs before we do that. So occasionally through the void, you can see these guys over here called specters. These guys are passive ghost-like mobs that they don't attack anything. You can't really attack them with physical attacks anyways, but they do love the soul heart. So I'm hoping to get one's attention because I'm stuck out here. But if you attract one with a soul heart, and you have to be a little bit quick with it, but you can snap a lead on them and they will lead you through the air. They won't necessarily bring you exactly where you want. Sometimes they're kind of weird, but eventually they'll end up kind of just going in a linear path and helping you explore the end islands without needing an elytra or anything like that. So now this guy's kind of found a path and he's going to take me straight this way. I actually think this guy is slowly bringing me back to the main end island, which... Oh my god, I forgot I was in survival. But if you want to break the lead, you just hit sneak this instance, the Spectre was definitely bringing me back to the main end island, which I did not want to go to, because the last regular mob you can find in end cities. So occasionally in end cities, you will find these defenders called Mimicubes. Now, they seem like just innocent cousins of slime, but unlike the slime, these guys are way more deadly. Let's just say I decide to fight these Mimicubes. Oh god, okay, we're going into creative real quick, because immediately when I attacked this guy, he mimicked my fighting style. So he equipped iron armor with an iron sword, and now is attacking me with that and has armor. So you have to be really careful what type of gear you approach these guys with, because they will respond with the exact same gear. So I'm going to give myself an enchanted golden apple just so I don't die right away, so I can show off. But if I attack all of these guys, they are going to mimic my gear. And if I pause, and let's just say, you know what, I'm going to switch to a diamond axe, and then go into survival. They switched to the diamond axe and diamond armor. Oh, do they die of fall damage? Oh, they do. So you could just bait them into jumping off the edge. When you kill them, they have a chance to drop this very interesting thing called Mimic Cream. I do want to point out, though, like, if I shoot the Mimicube with a crossbow, he'll even get a crossbow. If I hit him with an axe, he'll use an axe. Oh, now he's going to shoot crossbow shots back at me. So you got to be very careful. If you approach with full enchanted netherite gear, he will copy your enchanted netherite gear. But you want to farm these guys for the Mimic Cream. This is one of the most valuable resources in the end. So Mimic Cream has a very interesting property. Let's see this axe I have here, my sharpness 3 diamond axe. If I surround it with Mimic Cream, I can duplicate my axe and keep my original axe. Yes. It's pretty crazy. Now, granted, it gives me a 0 durability diamond axe, so I would have to repair it. So it's not really creating free diamonds. It would take about 3 diamonds to repair this axe. Especially if my axe... Oh, fascinating. So I wanted to test this theory, but you can't... The only enchantment it seems not to copy is mending. I thought that would be a free way to just get a duplicate axe, but no, it will not copy mending over. Like, it would take 4 diamonds to fully repair this thing, but if you had a mending book, then nothing's stopping you from applying a mending book after. So back to this capsid stuff. This is where you reach endgame Alex mobs. Starting with something really basic, you can put any music disc inside here and just give it a little bit. Oh, okay, I had to click it out. But yeah, if you put it in there, you can create a music disc. I'm avoiding copyright because I don't know, but you can play the mod if you want to hear the song. Another option is you can also just put a cod in here, a raw cod, I should say, and boom. That transmutates into a cosmic cod. Good way to get cosmic cod, which, by the way, cosmic cod has a small chance of giving you the ender flu. Seems like you need a lot, but you can get the ender flu from eating those raw. But this is endgame stuff here. So I am going to drop the crimson mosquito larva inside here. And after a bit, we get something interesting. Let's grab it. This is called the mysterious worm. And it wiggles, and you get the advancement, destroy the child. And, well, that's exactly what you're supposed to do here. So if you take this mysterious worm and walk over to the edge and just toss it into the void, and maybe step back a little bit, you spawn an interdimensional being called the Void Worm. And he's already after me. So this fella out... Oh, God, he's shooting crystals at me. Oh, God, and he travels between interdimensional portals that he creates, of course. And he'll teleport... can I go in this portal? Is this a stupid idea? Oh, no. Dang it. Now I have a shield. Okay. So you can block... Oh my god. Okay. Well, luckily, I have the serrated shield because I was able to do some damage to him. Oh my goodness. This is very hard. You just gotta aim for his head. But you can seemingly hit the other parts of his body. Okay, I was able to do some potion effects to him. Oh my god, Enderman, I don't want to fight you. He also seemingly never stops throwing things at you, so you gotta be a little bit careful with that. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, I accidentally, like, severed its head, and now there's 2 void worms. What? Alright, now I got 2 void worms throwing things at me. Holy crap, I'm dead. Oh my god. You also want to bring good armor because they have broken almost all of my armor pieces. Oh my god, I have 3 void worms on me. Okay, I managed to kill one, it looks like. Oh, I killed the main one. And he didn't drop anything. I don't know how he's alive. Okay, there we go. Holy crap. I've done so many boss mods in my day. That was one of the more unique and difficult boss fights, and I definitely ate like 10 enchanted golden apples. And I know, I gave myself OP gear to win this boss fight. This was not a boss fighting video. This was a showing off the mod video. This giant little thing spawns up here with all of its loot, including the Void Worm Mandible and the Void Worm Eye. There's 2 things you could make here. One thing you can craft is the Void Worm Beak. This is actually a redstone device. Basically, anything that gets trapped in here will take a lot of damage because the Void Worm mouth is extremely strong. I mean, I was wearing full diamond there, and that thing was chomping away at my health. So it'd be really good for traps and other types of things. This really isn't the first thing most people would make. This is kind of if you are crazy and decided to, I don't know, fight the Void Worm a few more times. This is probably what you'd want to make next with the Void Worm stuff. If you take 2 netherite ingots, the Void Worm Eye, and 2 of the Void Worm Mandibles, which these drop from the Void Worm, so you can make this 2 netherite ingots right after beating, you can make the Dimensional Carver, which allows you to dig through the dimensional fabric and return home whenever you want. So let me just carve a hole in the dimensional time and space real quick by holding down right click. And I'm going to head back to spawn. Which, I don't have a spawn, so that's the world spawn. But yeah, whenever you want, you can pull out your Dimensional Carver and return home. But we're not done yet. If you put down the capsid here, and then take your very expensive Dimensional Carver and put it inside the capsid, and just wait a few moments. Whoa! You get this broken, mutated, shattered Dimensional Carver. So now, instead of returning home, the Shattered Dimension Carver will allow you to travel 1 million blocks in any given dimension. Now, you might be wondering, why would you want to travel 1 million blocks away from home? Now, that is a great question that will be answered shortly. So, here is our 1 million block portal. So, we'll look at our coordinates real quick before we go through. We're at 32, negative 77. Oh my god. Okay, good thing that wasn't survival. I'm going to keep this in the video because imagine that happening to you in survival mode. I just went through a 1 million block portal. It dropped me out of the sky and I died with all of my stuff. And so my stuff is stuck through an interdimensional portal 1 million blocks away and I have no idea where it is. That is crazy. It might be worth getting this and having the original Dimensional Carver so you can get back without dying, because if I open up F3, we are at 27, 72, and negative 1,000,078. One might ask, Dave, why would you travel 1 million blocks away, especially when it costs as much money as it does? Well, that's a great question. But what if we traveled 2 million blocks in a single direction? So the world border is about 30 million blocks away. So it takes about 30 uses, which for the record, you can put Unbreaking 3 on the Shattered Dimensional Carver. There's a mob that's supposed to spawn by the world border. I don't know how close to this thing I need to be. You can... Oh! There he is. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, this is the Farseer. This is an interdimensional being that only spawns at the very edge of the world border. Mention, I'm 30 million blocks out. This guy will ignore all potion effects. Oh, this guy will ignore enchantments and armor. So... eating 1 god apple is good enough, but this is what you want, the Farseer arm. Yes, you have to travel 30 million blocks out to the world border to fight this interdimensional mob, But why would you do that? And that's a great question. Now, you're going to have to get 2 of these bad boys. You're going to have to get a second Farseer arm, but it looks like you just kind of have to hang around and eventually they just appear out of an interdimensional portal trying to kill you. So if you take 2 Farseer arms, another star, and 3 obsidian, you can get the transmutation table. Now, look at this funky little thing. So if you open this thing up, it basically allows you to convert stacks of items into other items by the cost of XP. So for example, raw cod, I could convert into a stack of prismarine. Now that costs 3 XP, but let's see, gravel. I could turn gravel into capsid, which is very nice to have. Let's see, I have 26 levels. Let's just say I want to turn this stack of diamonds into let's see, let's put prismarine in here. Let's see if I can turn 63 prismarine shards into 63 ender pearls. It says it costs 3 XP. Oh yeah, it only took 3 XP, but it only gave me, I guess, a stack of ender pearls, which is fair. Can I transmutate? No. So it's mostly like stacks of items you can turn into other stacks of items. Oh, but now look at here. Through a few uses of the transmutation table, I could turn 61 raw iron into 61 blaze rods. Now here I could turn capsid into prismarine crystals, and then I could turn prismarine crystals into 64 gunpowder. So for what it looks like is it's kind of random. Once you put something in the transmutation table, you don't get any other options. It's kind of like when you put a sword in and it tells you need unbreaking. The only way to get another roll of options is by spending money. So, okay, I turn this into pumpkins, and then I can turn that into diorite, into crystals. So I just spam used it to unlock many things. Like in here, for 3 XP now, I turned 4 dirt into 4 gas tiers. So now with these options, it's like, oh, I could turn anything into emeralds. I could turn raw iron into emeralds, but what if I just turn my crafting table into 63 emeralds? And then now I got a crappy option. I could just throw a crappy thing in here and it's like, okay, let's get some copper for my wood. And then, oh, gunpowder. How about I put a stack of wood in here and get 59 gunpowder? If you transmutate 1,000 items using a transmutation table, you get an achievement called the non-equivalent exchange. Also, I forgot to mention, there is a void worm trophy you can craft using the beak, 3 ender pearls, and 3 purple blocks. Now, I should mention, this is just totally a flex, and it serves no purpose at all. And also, once you place it, you can never pick it up again. Not the most beautiful trophy, but definitely a way to show off that you killed the void worm and maybe make a good mantelpiece out of it.